This is one of Chris Jericho's songs right here, Enemy by Fozzy. Are you on, Patrice? You there?
Yeah. Drop something.
Chris Jericho in studio, A Lion's Tale, his book, Around the World in Spandex. Chris Jericho.
What?
Yes. Yeah. Around the World in Spandex.
Oh, I didn't see the...
Around the World as the Super Liger. But you're doing a book signing, Chris? We should get that info out. Does someone have it? I don't have it. All right, I do have it in front of me here. Where are you going to be today? At Borders on Broadway.
On Broadway, yeah, right downtown in Manhattan here.
100 Broadway in Manhattan at 12:30. Chris will be signing copies of A Lion's Tale.
Wow.
Yes.
Until what time?
Until they stop coming, right?
That's right. That's right. Until everybody is satisfied.
Because of like we do. Like
Guaranteed.
Jimmy. Everyone gets it signed.
That's right.
I have them line up, and I sign 10, 12 books, and then I go back to my limousine.
Yeah.
That would be great. Have a huge line of people, and then just have a security guy put a cone behind the fifth guy.
But that's the thing. It really is like working at a club. Like when you have an autograph signing, sometimes you show up and there's 600 people there. Sometimes you show up and there's 6. You just never can tell. But if there's 6 and you got to sit there for 2 hours,
dude,
I'm best friends with everybody. I'm writing recipes in their book.
Dude, we've been down this road.
What is that, Virgin Records? I think
we put out a CD back in the day. It's 10 years ago when we were up in Boston, and some of the CD signings were all day, 6 to 8 hours, no joke.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then we did it was Tower Records, downtown Boston, and the line was maybe 20 people. And you just nailed it. We're sitting there like, so where are you from? Like learning everything about
exactly.
Because you don't want the line to totally die. You're hoping people are going to get on the back of the line before this guy leaves.
That's right. It's like working at a club. If there's no one in the club, you still want to have a line so that people think it's happening. Yeah. You know, when I was in Knoxville, when I was wrestling there in '94, they sent us to a furniture store, and there was like first signing, and the guy paid $75 each for me and my partner Lance, so we had to sit there for 2 hours no matter what, and there was nobody there, but there was this little group of kids who were standing around, and they're like, we thought you were supposed to be famous wrestlers. You guys are nobody. There's nobody here. Now go for 2 hours here, and they're like, shut up, kid. Right. Get out of here.
The worst is when you sign something, and then 5 minutes later, the same person comes back through the line. Because I wanted to know if we could take a picture. That one didn't come out.
Yeah, then you know that you're in trouble. When you start seeing the same people, then
or they acknowledge, like, I noticed that the line's really short, so I figured, what the hell, I'll get some other things signed.
Yeah,
like,
that's right. That's right. Yeah, there's nobody here, so I thought I'd just hang out for a bit.
Thanks, buddy.
You just babble.
We're not feeling bad about ourselves already.
Babble about everything to the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
everything.
Sure. No, come back. Here. Grabbing his arm. Hey, come.
So you've been big fans of the show, huh?
Is it any way to be famous without doing this stuff? Like, meaning, like, you do a movie or you do your book, and is there any way to just do this without doing what he's doing? I seen you on TV, you're here.
You gotta go
who
to
you
the
asking,
bookstore.
me or him?
You gotta promote.
You gotta promote it. You know? That's the thing, especially with something like this book. I mean, it's your life story, and I worked so hard on it to get it right. You want to take it to the streets, and it really is a grassroots thing.
This is just a lazy man's question, because it's just
Patrice doesn't want to work hard.
When I see people do publicity, it's like right now. It's amazing to me that I saw him on TV, and he has the same clothes he was on in Good Morning. And
I have one suit.
And you're fucking disco dancing with the lady this morning.
Oh,
and
that's right. She was hot.
That was the traffic girl too, by the way.
Oh man.
And then
His dance Friday.
He was dancing with
With Jill Nicolini?
Yeah, Nicolini, and he's a nice guy too, because he's not a hunk of shit, because he did the dance, and like I'm never gonna be invited on Ellen DeGeneres again, because she's doing the thing, and I'm like, you goofy bitch.
They weren't invited on anything again.
So I'm just wondering, is there any way to just do something and drop it, and then they go, hey man, he got a book out, and you just go, fuck all day signing, get out of here, I can sleep.
If you're like A+ on the list, like 50 Cent or Kanye or somebody like that, you probably don't have to. But when you're guys at my level, living on the F list, you got to do what you can to get out there and make it work.
Stephen King probably doesn't have to, but they all do.
Patrice is looking at me like,
they
come
do.
on, man.
Stop your bullshit, man. Wrestling fans is like,
you know what else too, though? I mean, this sounds kind of really like sucking up, but I like meeting the fans. It's fun. I mean, you guys probably have the same thing, because you're on the other side of the mic, and the other side of the screen. It's fun to meet up. Well, some of them are rude.
The fucking ones with tits, I like meeting.
Don't you notice that some people are just rude, and people just don't have manners?
Yeah.
You notice
Yeah,
that they come up and go, listen, I don't watch the shit, and I don't even really know who you are, but will you sign this? Well, gee, thanks. Let me do you a favor for just sticking it to me.
Best one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't really listen. I listened a couple times. I'm really not a big fan. Yeah. Could you just sign this?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Gee, thanks, asshole.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what I want to hear.
I don't even know if I should talk to you anymore. Your dad was a Ranger?
Yes, he was.
I didn't even know that until today, man.
Yes, he was.
Were you a hockey player growing up?
Yeah, I just wasn't very good, but I grew up actually.
Was he Ron Duguay?
A little bit earlier than that. He played for the Rangers from 70 to 75. And I used to remember sitting in the garden when I was about 3, and I was really mad because my dad would never look up and wave at me when he was playing his games. And I thought, come on, Dad. He's fighting Dave Schultz or whatever. And I'm like, Dad.
Was he a fighter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez, look at his nose.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, who was your
bridge
dad?
of his nose is in his ear.
His name was Ted Irvin.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus,
but
he
not
was
only
a tough
that,
guy.
but he also scored,
Wow.
too. He used to get 20 goals a year. He was like one of the original power forwards. Had he come around 10 years later, he would have made millions.
Are you a fan of any other sport?
No. Water polo.
But no basketball. See, I want to know basketball.
Yes,
like
Jesus, who
you're a
knows?
basketball fan, right? Like it's like
Acting chop.
I'm a sports. Yeah,
I guess I'm
absolutely.
trying to find out in sports terms of like say basketball, football. Was your father Peyton Manning or was he a lineman?
No. He wasn't Peyton Manning. I'm trying to put.
How many years did he play?
He played 10 years.
Oh,
so he had a pretty solid career.
right there.
What's the dude's name? What's Rondé's brother? Tiki Barber? Not at that level, but kind of someone that's that.
He's like Rondé's. He's Rondé.
Rondé. People know the name. And, kind of a great player, but not a superstar.
But if you're a hockey fan, you know your father.
Whenever I come to New York, man, people still ask me, how's your father doing? You go to the garden, it's the same security guards, ushers. I remember your father, Teddy Irvin, and it's like, how old are you, man? He's like 90? But it was the early 70s. But people in this city, in New York City, are they're such loyal sports fans. It's amazing. They remember everything about my dad and about my career and everything in betwing.
I'm an Islander fan, so
I don't know if it's worse.
we're supposed to hate you guys.
I don't know if it's worse not knowing your father, which I didn't, or having this "please, Daddy, love me" often disappointed face that he has. Like, this is my dad, but my dad's paying me no fucking attention. Or is it better just to be alone? Like, shit, I don't have nobody to relate to, so I'm gonna just look at this camera.
Who my daddy?
Who my fucking father?
Are you my daddy? Daddy?
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to play basketball, but this face of the constant pain on his face.
The years of
Look at the
toil.
look of.
I've
just
used
like,
that anger to fuel me to this day.
I'm going to show you, Dad. I'm going to go in a basement of an old man and be beat to death every
That's right. I'll
day.
teach you a lesson. My pain is your pain.
Damn.
I actually played in a celebrity. Christopher Reeve used to have a celebrity game at the Garden. I played 4 years with it. It was great. But the one year I asked my dad.
Oh, Jimmy.
My dad can come.
Jimmy's itching.
I don't
Don't
know.
fuck around with Chris. He was a good dude, man.
Yeah, why would I?
I can see your wheels spinning.
Not at
Jimmy's
all.
itching.
The third annual blink off. No,
terrible.
What?
Oh, my God.
Terrible.
Everybody's going
You know
in
what?
a
Christopher Reeve in a wheelchair could still kick your ass.
Oh, big deal. Good for him.
A great answer. I thought you were supposed to be a comedian. That wasn't funny. But anyways,
I'd have
I have a
gotten more
story
on
about it, you jackass. Don't interrupt my stuff. I can't even tell the story now. It's been built up so much.
He's really mad at me.
Well, it's good. He was a friend of mine. You don't talk shit about someone's friend like that.
Yeah, well, that's true, but he was a very famous guy, and, we poke fun at it. We do it. It's not that it's nice, but we do it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
but
Jimmy
Owen-
gets his ass kicked.
Owen A.
No, but
right
I'm
after
not.
these
Opie
words.
and Anthony, the host of the show, your bosses,
Yes.
are being respectful.
Bosses.
Well, I
And
wasn't
you
being-
got to cross the line when I said don't say it.
Well, I wasn't being disrespectful. It
Yes,
was-
you were. It's very
No.
disrespectful.
You didn't say
I'll
you
be
were friends
honest with
him.
you. I was this close to being disrespectful,
But you
but
didn't.
Jimmy jumped on it first.
But no, you
which
didn't
is
say.
horrible.
First of all, you didn't say you were friends with him. You just said you played in a tournament
Dude,
with
I'm
him.
just kidding with you, man.
I was actually going to go with
You say what you
I
want.
could see your wheels spinning when he
Yeah.
said that. I was going to go on that.
Ah, see, I threw you a softball.
See, I was going to go on that part.
I would
but-
love to see him put Jimmy in some type of finish.
You know what it is? You know what
And
the
Jimmy can bend at least 3 times.
Here's the finishing hole.
that
Patrice.
whole Oh,
that's the finish.
No,
That
wait,
whole
not
crowd.
not punching him because Jimmy doesn't have any bones in his face, so it's just your fist
that
would only
whole
go to the
crowd
other
out
side.
there, though, let me tell you, that whole crowd out there would have stood up if you hit Jimmy and said, "Leave him alone."
Please don't do that. Nobody would have helped me. Of
course,
He
we're
was
not
really
going to
mad
do
at me,
that.
though.
No.
You really are, but it's okay. I didn't know he was a friend of yours. But
No, my fury is over. I'm happy. I'm happy. We love you. We love each other.
And I am a comedian. You didn't think it because it wasn't a funny line, but I am one. Good.
No, he feels bad.
I was laughing at the
Let's
awkwardness.
shake hands on air. There you go.
They're
The hands
all
are
right.
shaking.
That was,
Fine. We're buddies.
They're
again.
okay now.
That was
okay.
a little awkward.
That was, it was awkward.
But it was
what are you
beautifully
supposed to do?
awkward, though.
You got to stick up for your buds, right? I mean, that's just the way it is.
Not really. Not
these.
no, we don't.
Chris,
Stick
not
up
these
each other.
guys. Not these guys.
What a bunch of miscreants. What a bunch of heathens.
You should
in
go
here.
down the comedy cell and see how these guys treat each other.
We're brutal.
It's amazing.
We're just a bunch of scumbags.
It
We're
is
just a bunch
amazing.
of scumbags. That's what we are. We fucking nothing is sacred.
We just kind of took this conversation and took it to a screeching halt, didn't we? Let's talk about this. Does anybody?
This is beautiful.
How was your cock?
Screeching
when you
halt.
peed?
Much like no.
Did you hold each other's cocks when you peed? Patrice was holding mine. It felt really nice.
It's so funny to see guys change the subject. Let me tell you something. Let me explain something about the word inappropriate in men should not fucking exist. Only look, you go out there, you might make a mistake where it's like it's personal to you, and I understand, but it's like inappropriate. You can't have it. The only time you should be inappropriate, the word used by a man, is like you ever had to shit. You feel like you had to shit, but you just had to pee, and you're sitting down with your fucking dick tucked between your legs, feeling like a girl, and you're just looking around going,
Buffalo
I
Bill.
feel like a bitch. This is inappropriate. Other than that, you should be able to take, because we were talking about earlier, it's context. You gotta try a Christopher Reeve joke, even though it's just. I understand what you're saying, but I gotta stick up with Jimmy on this one, just because this is what we do, and it fell flat and it was awful.
But if you're gonna
But I
bomb,
know
but
you
it's not a
gotta-
joke. If you're gonna throw one out there, you gotta throw a good
it's
one.
a friend. Jimmy didn't know it was a friend of his.
I know.
Hold on. What do you mean you had to throw out a good one? That wasn't a bad one off the cuff. It wasn't that vicious even. It was. I didn't realize he was a friend of yours, but it was like it wasn't that vicious. It was like.
Let's play some tape of some real vicious shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it wasn't done.
Let's get vicious.
It was just done in the moment, and he was a very famous guy. I mean, it was,
I didn't mean that, asshole. Don't find it.
Look at this fucking asshole right here.
Hey, we're still waiting for.
He loves this. He's not
Opie just got a
saying-
big smile.
Look at him. He's
Let me
like a
tell you
godfather.
something.
His hands are
You
together
fucking
like-
fucking asshole.
Don
If we were
Opie.
talking about like right now, going, hey, it takes 1,000,000 years for the energy of the sun deep down to come out. Enough of this. As Jimmy's getting ready to get raped by Chris Jericho,
And I will rape him. I will sodomize
Opie's
him.
sitting there. Look
He's
at how his
just like,
fingers are together.
Mr. Smithers, excellent.
Excellent.
They've turned on each other. Let the animals tear each other apart. You were talking about the nervous sip from the water
was-
glass. That says much more right there.
It was an amazing moment. It
was.
really was.
oh,
See?
it was genius.
Well,
That will make the best of show.
there's other things involved with that. That's what makes it amazing. So,
like what?
Excellent. That's great. He's just fucking sitting there loving it.
it just whatever.
No,
What's the matter?
He's so
No, something I was going to bring up, which ties everything in. Your mom's a quadriplegic.
That's
so
right.
That's why he's a little sensitive.
How
to shit.
funny do you think you are now, motherfucker?
So
now you feel bad, don't you? I told you not to cross the line.
No, but I talk about suicide. My friends have committed suicide. It's like as a subject, you look at something like that. You don't ever want to, but that was something that obviously hit you hard for that reason. But you can't
That's
look at
why-
me like I'm being a dick on purpose because I'm not.
This is hits very close to home, obviously. So when
Okay.
you went there, I was like, wow, this is going to be interesting. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you,
Had you
my
said-
father's a quadriplegic too.
Well, he's
been dead for a few years.
Chris.
His limbs don't fucking work.
But that's funny. That's funny.
No, that's bullshit. That's
funny.
bullshit. You're mad
It's
at me.
not bullshit.
It
It's
is.
funny.
It was very funny.
No, but I'm not offended as a guy who had to live with it. I'm offended as a comedian. That was just a bad joke.
A third annual blink off was not fucking bad. Look at Anthony's killing. I respect his opinion.
and that's what made it weird. Because I'm laughing because I thought that was funny.
It was funny.
It's just the third
So I got Patrice.
And what was funny about it, I'll explain. It's the word blink.
And a blink off will never happen. And I got Patrice and Anthony to laugh at that. That's
Guys,
all it was.
this conversation is just going nowhere. For me.
I know.
You know, if you want me to continue to participate, we know the story now. Let's just move along and have some fun and talk about cocks and stuff.
Oh shit. Oh no, we've reached this point. Oh my god.
Like, listen to the silence.
I will close this part of my. Had you said to me, look, this is my situation.
I shouldn't have to. There's certain things that just aren't funny.
See, okay, well then
to me.
Well, but again, I'm not a mind reader, so if you told me that, I would have certainly been respectful.
I said don't cross the line. How much money? I said don't say it. I can see your wheel spinning.
We were already in the middle of it. Had you set it up like that, I'm going to tell you it would have been different.
Yeah.
How much sugar in those muscle milks? My mother's diabetic, and so am I.
Zero.
Dude, I don't want that fucking sugar.
Man, your people listening to this show just getting burnt like they're getting a buzzkill. They want to have some fun on this.
No, they're fucking not. Chris, they're fucking vultures, man. Our audience are fucking vultures. Look at the smiling, grinning faces.
He doesn't like me. I know he doesn't like me, and I know as a jock he wants to punch me. That's what they do. I get it.
No.
I get it.
I'm smart. I go and wire your car so when you get downstairs.
I don't have a car.
Do you have a car?
Yeah, no,
okay.
just wire Club Soda Kenny. He's stupid.
Wire him to.
Good. All right, I got the approval of the crowd. All right.
I hope he punches you in the mouth so they get some type of meat to them. So they swell up like it's some Botox instead of those thin bird lips you have now.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Just punch him in places, punch him in his arm so it gets muscular.
But dude, I'm not mad at you anymore. I'm over it. But your feelings are hurt.
You're not a good psychologist. My feelings are not hurt. No, I'm not.
But you got a different look on your face now, though.
Jimmy, I'm not going to be phony about it. It's
don't be phony. Don't be defensive. Just move on.
Jimmy can hold a grudge like Simon Wiesenthal.
I'm only irritated that he said like
Simon Wiesenthal.
I was telling him I was being respectful. Like had I known that situation, I would have been respectful of it. I really would have been for anybody. But what he's saying, but I told you not to, like, that's what's bugging me, is he's like, hey, I instructed you not to, and you should have known that.
And you should have just followed his instructions. He told you. Now fucking
So now
shut
you want
up.
to continue this? Now you're bugged now?
No, you're asking me why
I'm telling you we're over it, man. You want to continue arguing about it and disrupt the show? Because I'll argue all day if you want.
You just said to me, I was done with it, and you just said to me, now my feelings are hurt, and I'm explaining that they're not hurt.
Okay, well then it's over. It's cool. Tell us some jokes. Give us some wacky material.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh
you can't say that because I would almost take the beating to get the laugh I would get. See? Oh, this is killed.
It's nothing, but this is not uncomfortable.
No.
It's hilarious right now.
This is good radio.
But human beings, this is what I'm saying. Every human being should really enjoy this because this is as real as you. Can you imagine
this? This is reality radio.
It is so real right now, and it's like if this was on that shitty morning show or Julian and
Mike
Sandy,
and Juliet.
it's just like okay. That's how we ended on when it gets on. Okay.
But look at Opie leaning back, hands behind his head.
But my thing is, Jimmy, there's no reason to continue on with this.
You're continuing. I'm done.
I'm
with
not
it.
continuing
Sure
it.
you are. I'm done. You said to me my feelings were hurt. I was saying that you were wrong. They really weren't.
Okay.
That was why I had that, and then I explained it. It was not a winning thing.
Okay, well, your feelings aren't hurt.
We're
You
both bothered
said
by
your part.
something. We move on.
But let's go. Yeah, there's no bothering anymore.
I'm done.
We're done. It's fun times. Good times.
I'm done.
Good days.
Good days.
Fun times.
I'm done.
Holy shit, man.
Wow. You just never know. Live radio, man.
It's compelling.
You gotta love it. It's like the 50s. It's like the old Hollywood, man. Dean Martin.
Fuck, it's only 10:34. Shit. I was hoping it would be 11.
That whole segment was like a minute.
And we can't move on. How does it happen?
What do we do?
This is the great thing. Is oh shit, here we go.
Oh, Paul.
This is
Hold on, you gotta explain it, Patrice. The security guards just walked in the studio.
That's the way to Here's the great thing about this. This is the journey that's going to be great. Is finding out how to move on.
And out.
So,
Especially with the heavies behind us now.
now let me ask you a question. The raised ink on the bottom
cover,
of the book.
yes, it's red. It's raised. That's called. It's embossed.
Embossed.
It's
And
embossed.
that's a special kind of printing press.
Yes, it is. It was invented in 1965 by Elmer Jones.
Bring Red Rum in. Red Rum's going to get naked to try to calm everyone down.
We did notice that nudity
Nudity
does
always-
solve the world's problems.
That breaks the ice.
We're going to attempt.
That does.
If there was nudity at peace conferences, at ooh, here we go.
Oh, she has double piercings. Actually, a triple piercing that we can see.
Is that
Wow, and
is
she
that
got
an
more than
explanation
that.
for a breast?
Well,
Wow, there you go.
there we go.
And that was just on command.
Yeah.
The power of O&A, just
Little
come in,
nudity.
get naked.
Wait,
You
got
have
a
recovered beautifully, by the way, from having a baby. You look fantastic.
Oh, she just had a kid?
Yes.
That's good to throw that in to
right.
really sexy it up, Jim.
No, but I'm
Thanks.
saying I'm complimenting her. She looks beautiful.
Now you see,
What's with this guy?
What's the matter, Jim?
What?
Bring up that she has a baby. We're all looking at her real nice. You got to bring up that she's got a baby.
Because everybody knows she does.
What the fuck is
I
the
didn't
matter
know.
with you?
Now your fucking feelings are
Why are
hurt.
you on my case
I
today,
just hurt your
man?
feelings.
She
the
looks
fuck?
good.
What is going on?
I can't even be nice in context.
What the fuck is going on
I'm
with you?
telling her that she looks very sexy. Everybody knows she had a baby, so I'm saying
We didn't
she looks,
know.
Well, you didn't know, but she knows.
Yeah,
and he knows. And
Now you know, and I know, and everybody knows.
McGarity knows it. And the thing is, when a woman has a baby, every woman is self-conscious about her body, and I'm telling her she looks fantastic, and I told her that before.
Sociopathically, on a sociopathic level, focused, and he is like this, a nasty little man. He will not stop. What's it gonna take?
I'm not in a nasty
How far
mood.
you gotta
The
go?
Cobra Clutch.
Did I not?
There's no.
Did I not tell you before that you look good?
But you're using her awful after birth titties to make a point.
Jesus.
To make a point about the situation.
And I don't like.
We
I don't
know
like.
what you're doing.
I don't like what he just did, which is use this excuse to get that mean titty joke in. Who do you think you're bullshit?
He just
I didn't
worked.
know she had a baby.
He just
I
worked
thought they were
you.
awful titties alone.
He just claimed you. He set you up.
He used
He
us.
set you up.
You used us to get a mean
I
titty
feel
joke
like we're
out.
minutes away from a Royal Rumble.
Call more security. Help us.
Yeah, you know what?
We don't need security.
Don't
We
insult
need
us.
Jimmy
Norton
got his feelings hurt. Is that what happened?
Don't insult Chris Jericho. Leave the studio,
Yes, please.
Master
There's
Paul.
everybody. There's no. That's
What the
silly.
fuck? That's kind of an insult, to be quite honest.
Oh, that the security came
Like,
in?
he was only
Chris
doing-
Jericho's
Is that
a
why he came in?
professional.
He was thinking that
come
Jericho
on,
was
man.
in. First of all, I'd be in big trouble before Poe got there, but it was not
Dude,
necessary.
come on.
Chris Jericho's
come
a
on,
professional,
guys.
and he
He's
knows
rich.
that the lawsuits.
Believe me, I have no dignity problem saying that I would be
cameras on
fucking.
here.
I
There's
would
cameras
sue
too,
him in
Chris.
a second.
Oh, would that be great on? How funny would that be on YouTube? Just you pounding Jimmy in the face.
And just him suing Chris Jericho.
They do it in slow motion 20 times. It would look like when Smith got hit in the Matrix. Your cheek would just go in.
Tell your jokes now, funny boy.
Norton National Wrestling is the NNW as he owns everything. He sues Chris Jericho.
That's why the security came in. I just figured that out.
Thank you, Chris. No, I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. You're fired. Thanks to you. This is because we used to do on Tough Crowd. We would get into these. We all would do it.
I watched it.
We would just be like, "You and have this quiet, you cocksucker. Did you just, And then it's like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do this to you, and then I'm gonna do this to. It's just uncomfortable. It's just that's what we do. It's just uncomfortable. It's just I want it to continue, and it's just after a while it just gets old. But you just want to just have this go on and on.
This is a
and
memorable
have
show.
logic
Of course.
And what's wrong with Red Rum's tits?
They look like
Oh no.
I think she looks great, man. For real.
they look fine. I'd fuck them. I mean, it's not like I'm just saying.
She's mad.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
And the guys
got
are
a feeling.
and the crowd is getting mad that everyone's turning
And
on
the
us.
psycho she's married to is going to be angry.
Opie is
Oh, he's
funny.
a psycho?
Oh,
Let me
he
see.
certainly
Where's
is.
that? Which one? This guy?
That guy's insane.
Oh, he just looks crazy.
Look at the size of that guy.
He looks like the guy that beat up
I
fucking
think she's
Linderman.
hot.
And he don't look like he got enough money to sue.
That's your
Mike.
bike? Mike.
Here's the
My
thing.
bodyguard.
This is the thing. Now, here's where I think it's unfair in life for this. It's like, okay, I don't want to know all the context before. Meaning, I don't want to know the whole story before I make a titty joke. and I don't want to hit the whole story. You don't have to hear the whole fucking story till you go, I'm going to try to make this funny. So she pulls out her little tits, and they just look like little scared things, and I gotta comment on them without having to fucking go, I have to now be a man with whatever. If my girl pulled out she had stretch marks on her ass, you know what I mean, and come back and goes, Jesus, ass looks like a road map. I don't want her to go, look at my big nigger boyfriend who's going to fight you. I don't want to deal with that.
But that's what he'd be thinking.
I am focused on the titties. I'm not getting into, oh, sorry, now I have to go deeper into your past. Like, my family, I come from a family of baggy little titties.
A couple minutes ago, we were talking about holding
and then I got to hear his story. But you know how many niggas I killed? I don't want to hear
what
that
happened
shit.
to our fun show?
It's still fun.
It's still fun, Chris.
You know the best thing is, Opie,
really
earlier you were saying sometimes it's a grind. Like, this show, you will remember this show.
This isn't a grind today. No.
This show will be remembered.
It's nothing personal.
Well, that's what happens with comedy, though. It's okay until like a joke gets too close to home. We talk about that on the show all the time. There's things we joke about that personally I don't like, but I sit here in silence and deal.
That's comedy. Very
I learned
broad.
this in college. This is all I learned in college.
Yeah, that is
good is good if it's good for me.
That's it.
Everybody's upset with what affects them.
That is exactly. That is the general definition of comedy right there. You're fine with stuff until it hits too close to home.
Right.
Shit, my mother can lose all her feet. But you think I don't fuck around with diabetics?
Well,
dude, it's just what it is.
Yeah, I think you're a rare.
You're a rare human.
Yeah.
Not for a comic, he's not, though. I mean, as a comic, that's the way comedians think.
Nothing personal, Precious. You don't have to have your murderous husband murder me. Look at me. I shaved all my hair off and I'm going to kill you. Don't forget.
I want to know.
It's nothing personal, Precious.
Why no?
You could have been spectacular naked.
Hold on. Why no panties, though?
I never wear underwear.
It's freezing out today, though.
But how come you how come you came in and got naked on cue? Is this something? Do you do this quite often? Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
On Pal Talk.
Perfect. So she's in case of uncomfortable situation, break glass. She comes in and gets naked, and everybody's cool again.
Dude. You know what I'm saying? Dude, come on. Dude. Like that's the thing. Like, how would it's impossible to figure out. She comes in and will strip naked in front of people she don't know. But there is a psychopath with her to guard her against certain things.
Rape.
But not the idea. Right, rape, but not. But you can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. You can't fucking do it. That's why everything is on. You can joke about every fucking thing. Everything. And then you deal with the consequences later. And motherfuckers don't deal with consequences in terms of being funny. Dude, I got kicked in the mouth, chased home with knives for being funny and go, shit, I'm going to be funny tomorrow. Motherfucker couldn't stab funny out of me.
You sure that was for being funny?
Or trying to be.
After I dropped that blonde girl off. I told the joke and her father chased me. No, it wasn't it.
It's just you have to go for it, baby. You got to. And Chris, this is not uncomfortable. It really ain't. This is a new thing. This
is the new thing.
And you gotta. And you was a heel for so long.
Dude, I'm cool with it. I'm just discussing her breasts. That's what I was just curious about.
Right. And
the breasts are out.
Those are fun.
But,
I'm say
but
that
there's
again.
nothing. They're fun.
I like them.
See, now I want to get into a wrestling match with
Those
Chris.
breasts aren't fun.
In what game?
They're fun. They're perky. They're bouncy. They got
There has to be
nipple
a
rings.
context to
They
that.
got nipple rings in them. That's cool.
And the context is this. I would, in a minute. But you just, if it was my girl, I would just go, hey, what's going on? Because I got.
But you just said good.
Yeah,
you just said good is good if it's good for me.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's good for me.
Look
It's
at
good.
Patrice's hands.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, my
I
hands
like
are
her.
different. I would have to I would have to squeeze those and suck them through the fist to have fun.
He's surprised he came out with that one.
And it's not even on her. It's just.
But the thing is, too, if she's going to come in and get naked, you have to deal with the consequences. People are going to make comments. So, I mean, it's not an insult. You're
But she
commenting.
understands that.
I'm not insulted.
Sure,
think
she
she-
does. She understands that.
What do you think your breasts?
I don't like them.
Well, I do like them. I like
No,
little
they're
A cups.
getting bigger this year.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
And that's smart, and get them just to fill in the
See the big ball
space.
guy? He promised me boobies. So.
Yeah, you should get them.
you gonna get
After today, he's going to feel so bad. He's going to definitely get boobs.
Don't go too big though.
I don't know. I can't.
Just fill in the space. Yeah. That's all you do. Whatever that. You know what I'm saying? Don't just fill in.
Squeeze him in his face.
You know, like a balloon.
Like a water balloon.
You are awful, man. You are just an awful man.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a doozy.
That was a good one.
Should we do line of the day and get the hell out of here or what?
That sounds like a plan.
Sounds good. We were still trying to recover from the atrocities.
I think we made a full recovery.
We did. We're doing good.
I think so.
Yeah, we're doing good. It's all good.
I think we're okay.
Patrice just laughing his ass off.
Are you guys gonna,
This is crazy, man.
You guys going to agree to disagree? Is that what it comes down to?
No, we're friends.
Agree to disagree. Where's the what does that even mean? Agree to disagree?
It's a bit we do on the show, Patrice. Of course it means nothing. That's the point of the whole fucking thing. We just hate when people say that, so now we do it on our show.
Look at how they usher the audience out.
Disagree.
The audience is leaving in protest.
They usher them out so we don't have to sit here and take pictures with all of them.
Yeah. Ask questions and they can take sides on our arguments.
Oh, shit.
No, we just don't want them to see the bloodshed. No
They
witnesses.
won't see me exit. They'll just see like one of my shoes and my bloody sweat jacket. Take it out.
The best part that security was sent in. That's
Yeah, it wasn't necessary.
It's like, come on.
It wasn't necessary.
who makes that call? Do you have a red button underneath?
messed
the
up.
poll?
No,
Was it you?
personal judgment call.
No, believe
No,
me.
who fucking did that?
Poe would hear that and
No,
go,
Paul, I don't
I
fault Paul.
actually told Poe not to come in here, and he
Paul
said,
was
no, I'm going to
Paul
come
was
in.
doing his job.
Absolutely.
That was unnecessary.
Guarantee that was just Paul coming in to make sure.
But that's great, though. I mean, now we can say, remember that time when the security came in? It was so crazy.
Paul was trying to protect me. He didn't know if Chris was just going to smash me.
Oh,
so he
come
had to
on,
be-
man. We're professionals,
I'm
right?
saying that that's what his
Okay.
Chris, when you
is a
take
pro.
that? When you take
I don't
this?
think he'd punch you.
I'm not saying he would, but
How would you want? That's. Oh, and I thought that was Chris Jericho right there. I'm sorry about that.
You're making
It's not a joke on you. It's a joke on
You trying to fucking make a situation, motherfucker.
Not him.
You think he looks like Ellen DeGeneres?
you're saying I'm making
was a jerk.
It's a joke on
I don't
Ellen.
have to say if you're saying I look like Ellen. The joke is on him.
Just said you look like Ellen DeGeneres.
Did he just say I look like Ellen DeGeneres? Is that what he just said?
He fucking did. He goes, when did you take this? We all looked up and there's Ellen DeGeneres.
Dude, if we were watching King Kong and someone said, look, it's Patrice, you'd go, oh, that's the joke on King Kong. I'm just trying to, a context we can all
I
appreciate.
apologize. I meant to. Right. Very fair.
That's what I'm just
was
trying to be.
What were you
Trying to be
getting at,
loud.
though? Was that it?
He said I'm skinny.
You dance, you're a lesbian.
Wait, he's just...
But no, earlier he said I look like I was from a concentration camp.
Yes,
I can't hear. I can't hear you.
I can't. And me going, hey Ellen, but going to Ellen. Hey, listen, are you coming back to wrestling with that tutu thing? But I couldn't say anything to her, so it was like I was saying that to her, but he was.
Yeah.
I'm so
So
lost.
I have to. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I see your
apologize.
side.
he compared
I'm very
Jericho to
sorry.
Ellen, but he's saying that the punchline was Ellen, not Chris.
If Ellen was sitting here and Chris was on TV and you go, hey, look, then it would have worked.
Absolutely, and that's where it went. Yeah.
But then we also wouldn't have had that earlier situation if it was Ellen.
It would have been different. It would have been a lesbian.
I've
thing.
completely forgotten.
Would've been
Yes,
a lesbian
Jimmy
thing.
would have blurted out some insensitive lesbian joke,
Of course.
and she'd have kicked his ass.
All right.
Damn it, boy! This has just been
This is the Wild West. It has, hasn't it?
It's just been
It
a
has.
lesson
We've run
in-
the gamut.
Take your fucking hat and go to the Cotton Club, you motherfucker.
I know.
He's dressed like the American Gangster dude.
The bitch around and
We're not leaving until we see that Brother Joseph has proper medical attention.
I'm going somewhere and get a cockaline right now, baby. Rob.
That's an amazing hat.
It's got a feather in it.
It works.
All right, Patrice. We learned today that Chris Jericho is coming back to the WWE. Let's not forget that.
And,
Ooh, he did not deny that.
well, I mean, at this point, what's the
Wrestling
point?
sites have
What's the
fun.
point? Exactly.
What's the point? Yeah, exactly. Why bother?
So it's a yes?
Well, you know, I got a book tour for the next month, and after that, we'll see what happens.
We just beat him down.
That's gonna, you know
At
something
this
though?
point, he's like, oh, fuck it all.
That right there is gonna scoop your great questions
But the
on the
thing-
wrestling websites.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's gonna know, but that's the speculation that's going on. So, and I never denied or confirmed anything. So,
Usually means it's true, by the way.
well, you know,
Alliance,
Do you know to get my truck? Sorry.
Let's make it perfectly clear. Chris Jericho's book is A Lion's Tale Around the World in Spandex. Getting great reviews from someone I respect a lot as far as writing goes, Mick Foley. He's written some great books over the years, and he writes thoughtful, thorough, and laugh-out-loud funny. Jericho's book is a winner. And he was kind of scared that your book was funnier than his.
Well, like I said, that's the idea. Hopefully we'll get that. Come on down to, where am I at? Borders?
100 Broadway in Manhattan at 12:30. You'll be there signing copies.
Come on down and insult me. It's Insult Jericho Day.
Wow.
Are you coming back, Aaron?
Jimmy's going to be dropping in for that one.
To hear? Guys, this is fun stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I have no problems.
I had a great time.
Sometimes you get into deep discussions. This is what we do. You know what I mean? Jimmy, talk, brother. Come on. We had a deep discussion today. Everyone has opinions.
Yes.
There's no lasting things.
Not at all.
It's like having a beer talking about the Mets or the Knicks or the Mets and the Knicks. Do you like basketball or baseball?
Basketball players playing baseball.
It's perfect. Sounds like an idea.
Yes, and I'll be in Queensbury tonight at the Saratoga Comedy Club. In that shithouse Sweet Basil restaurant, so come see me there.
And hopefully,
that's enticing.
Hopefully you'll be funny. Hopefully you'll be funny.
Let's hope so to be a first. But if you can make it, come on, be up there. Saturday early show sold out, so try the other three.
Wow,
and Patrice's Stress Factory, 732-545 ha tonight and tomorrow night. 2 shows tonight with that revolting phone number, and 2 shows tomorrow night. The great Patrice O'Neill.
Thank you, Jim.
And of course, Chris is doing his book signing today at Borders 100 Broadway,
Manhattan.
And there's going to be a line, so get there early.
You do Best Week Ever still?
Not Best Week Ever, but we just filmed I Love the New Millennium. And even though it's only 2007, they're already doing that. So.
Okay.
I want to thank Quick from Harlem Nights also.
I am going to wear this hat, man. I knew it, but it's going to happen. I'm just going to wear my goddamn hat.
No, we learned when you wore that fucking Pink Panther shirt, and we didn't give you any shit about it.
Right now, Oscar Madison's head is cold.
This guy came in with a Pink Panther T-shirt one day.
And we didn't give him one fucking word about it. Not one word.
We let him slide for whatever reason.
Y'all some sneaky bastards. You know a lot of little, Quick from... That is a fucking amazing reference.
You know something?
There.
I wish I could sit here and take credit for that. And there's the bell. It starts the 3rd round. I wish I could take credit for that, but that was handed to me by... Danny.
Danny did.
Who came up with it? Was it Danny?
Danny.
Yes.
All right.
Danny Googled blacks and hats.
See, that's good. That's funny. That's the true comedy.
These fucking two.
These two.
We're going to the club
Chris
after.
is a goddamn troublemaker too.
Yes, of course
he
he is,
thinks
of
he's
course.
slick because he's smarter than probably 98% of all the wrestlers. They don't know when he's being an asshole. But the thing he knows that's jabbing him is his validation of each joke.
Yes.
Now that was good.
And then I'll say something.
Chris is fully aware of what he's doing.
You are,
See,
man.
now I'll
For the people out there, this thing is still going on. You just got to listen very closely.
We'll have to bring the rematch back.
You got to hear the little jabs that have been going back and forth for the last 40 minutes.
I'll say something.
The great Khali doesn't know when he's doing that to him. That's
Jimmy, don't let Patrice stir you up, man.
No, Patrice is right. Of course I'm not stupid. Like, you think I don't know? Like, gee whiz, thanks a lot. He liked that one. Fucking 40 years old.
He just did the ball.
That's funny.
Let it be said that Tim's been jabbing back, too. You just got to listen really closely.
But of course, I know that that's just what it is. So then if I'm like kind of shitty about something, he'll go, "What? We let it go."
You know what he is?
He's a passive aggressive monster.
Yes! He's a
passive aggressive monster.
Passive aggressive in his ass!
I almost made it out the door without you figuring it out on air.
I liked this.
No, we were fully aware. We just wanted it to play out because it was fun to listen to.
At one point, Chris went, "Now that's funny," and Jimmy goes, "Yeah, thanks," and makes the face like, but it sounded like a thank you. But if you looked at the face, it was just like, "Yeah, thank you."
You can't be able to fight and be smarmy. You can't be a smarmy ass and beat somebody up at the same time. You have to just...
That's like telling somebody...
What an asshole!
And you love it, don't you? You love it.
But that's why Chris Jericho's shit is great. I love when he used to do all that stuff during his matches and all that crap.
But that's the equivalent of telling somebody the truth. Telling somebody the awful truth. Like if somebody has an ugly girlfriend and go, hey, your girlfriend's a pig, and then winking him and poking him in the stomach. I gotcha. Just kidding, pal.
Good
Just
call,
kidding.
man. That's right.
Just kidding.
That's very good.
Pal. Between us, you know.
That's very
I was
good.
just sitting there going, why is he? And I go, oh my God, Jericho's a goddamn troublemaker. And I was feeling bad for a second, like,
No, he absolutely
is. An asshole, man. That's hilarious.
He knows.
Goddamn good
Manipulation
one. You
is my
got
game.
me. Holy shit.
He's been doing that his whole career.
God, I know
that's what we
wrestlers.
do.
I know wrestlers hated you. It's only like 3 that liked you. I already know.
Yeah.
I just
No,
know.
yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I'm gonna pee my pants. Do we have to do line of the day or what should?
Oh, that's funny.
All right, Bodog Fantasy. I'm just going after CBS executives according to radio websites.
That's true.
Anthony is an out of control gambler. And Jimmy almost lost his life to Chris Jericho on Friday, so we better talk about that.
Oh, I've seen some stuff that was just written like
I have. We'll get into it after the break, but I have to explain myself because a few people said that I ruined a great radio moment, but I was not thinking about radio for one of the very rare occasions that happens every once in a while. I actually stepped out of the whole freaking radio game to save Jimmy's life. I think personally, I don't know if I'm right. Maybe Jimmy could tell us what he saw.
Yeah.
But it was getting ugly really fast. And
there was something going on, and it was real.
Do we have that clip?
Yes, it was.
All right.
It was very real.
Yes.
Because we haven't been able to discuss it since it went down on Friday.
I haven't heard it.
And we like Chris Jericho, friend of the show, but we got into a really strange area that escalated really fast.
And from awkwardness to like this almost anger thing that was going on to... It was weird. It was just weird.
We'll talk about, I got to say one thing, message board people, some of them on the money, and it's amazing how many people allow their personal feelings to influence what they write. Like, it really is amazing how many dumb people there are who just are not perceptive.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get into that. It's definitely some interesting stuff. Also, we had a good friend of the show come in, Chris Jericho. He wrote a book. He's going back to the WWE. Told us off mic.
Yeah, pretty much. Just confirmed it, but
there goes the Google alert in 3, 2, 1.
there it is. Every wrestling site.
Sorry for all the people that have Opie and Anthony as a Google alert thing because you're going to get wrestling news for the next few days. But so Jericho comes in. He wrote a really, really funny book and getting very good reviews. And we were having a very nice interview on Friday and talking about everything, wrestling, his upbringing, what else? Whatever.
Yeah,
Just
everything that was in the
Just
book.
a solid, just hanging out type of interview.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it went drastically wrong. And we got the clip here. And we haven't been able to analyze this yet because it went down for the rest of the show Friday. And then the show ended and Ant took off to Atlantic City and we all went our own way. So we haven't really discussed this. Jimmy and I talked a little bit for a while about the incident.
I have honestly not heard it. I have not listened to the replay. I have not heard this clip yet. I mean, obviously when it happened, that was it.
You never know when this show's going to go wrong. So all of a sudden, I asked Chris Jericho about his father. His father is an old Ranger.
Was a hockey player, yeah.
Levine?
Yeah, an old park ranger.
No, what the heck was his father's name? I don't know the older Rangers that
Not
well.
Ted Levine, that's Buffalo Bill.
Yeah, but I think it was Ted Levine.
Is that really his dad's name?
Or Ted Levin. What is it?
Really?
Ted Levin? Ted Irvin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Ah.
All right, Ted Irvin from the Rangers,
Sam
right?
knows
And also,
that.
I know nothing about Chris other than the fact that I know he's a very famous wrestler.
Right.
I don't follow wrestling, so I know who he is because he's a big name guy.
Right. And you need to know that I knew something that Anthony and Jimmy didn't about Chris Jericho. That's in his book, and then we were going to try to maybe talk about it on our show. I don't want to give it away. But I kind of knew something. It was obvious Jimmy didn't and Anthony didn't. So we were talking about hockey, and then the obvious question, he's from Canada. I'm like, did you ever play hockey? Your father was, in the NHL, played for the Rangers. Chris Jericho, did you ever play hockey? And then this is what happened.
I actually played in a celebrity. Christopher Reeve used to have a celebrity game at the Garden. I played 4 years with it. It was great. But the one year I asked my dad,
Jimmy.
my dad could come.
Jimmy's itching.
Don't around with Chris. He was a good dude, man.
Yeah, why would I?
I can see your wheels spinning.
Not at
Jimmy's
all.
itching.
The third annual blink off. No,
terrible.
What?
Oh my God!
Terrible.
Everybody's going.
You know what? Christopher Reeve in a wheelchair could still kick your ass.
No big deal. Good for him.
It was a great answer. I thought you were supposed to be a comedian. That wasn't funny. But anyways, I have a story about it, you jackass. Don't interrupt my stuff. I can't even tell the story now. It's been built up so much.
He's really mad at me.
Well, it's good. He was a friend of mine. You don't talk about someone's friend like that.
Yeah, well, that's true. But he was a very famous guy, and we poke fun at it. We do it. It's not that it's nice, but we do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy gets his ass kicked.
But you see, right there, I really did feel awkward because I didn't mean to trash the guy. Now we're back live. I didn't mean to trash his friend because I felt bad that I just smashed his friend and didn't realize it.
Christopher Reeve?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I mean,
it went a lot deeper than that.
Oh, no, I
which
know
we're gonna
that,
get
but
to.
I mean, at that moment, so he said he's a friend of mine, and then I'm like, then I did backpedal. I'm like, it's like if you're watching TV with somebody and you go, "Who's the fat whore?" and they go, "It's my wife."
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of those moments. So I felt bad. But he got not explosively, dangerously, but he got really pissed off at me. Like, you jackass! Like that was real anger. He wasn't being fun. He was genuinely angry at me.
Right. The line hit very close to home, and I don't know. Everyone has their own definition of comedy and all that. My definition is simple. People are fine with things until it hits too close to home.
Absolutely.
And even that stuff should be fine. You should just deal with it and let the moment pass and move on. But for some people, they can't. Like if we make fun of, give me something, fat people, and you're married to a fatty, it personally affects you, and you're not laughing at that. So
one time I was a passenger in a car, and I sat down and went to put the seatbelt on, and it was all the way out, like to the end of the seatbelt. And I buckled it, and I swear I could have put like 3 watermelons in there with me in the seatbelt. And as I pulled the thing, I turned to the guy that was driving. I was like, who the hell what fat lady from the circus was sitting here? As I tightened it up just because it was so far out there, not thinking. And he's like, my mom. I was and then I was thinking, why would I say that?
He even has the gender right.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So obviously, if you listen to that clip,
Yes.
Jericho was pretty heated.
Yeah. But I think
heated.
it's fairly obvious that I was like, well, he was a famous. I'm trying to explain myself because I did feel bad that I just insulted the guy's friend, even though, I have that stupid sense of humor.
Right.
I did feel bad that I had said it.
Do we have more? So then it continues? I hope this is the big reveal. I don't know if it is, though. Let's play this.
Right after these
Opie
words.
and Anthony, the host of the show, your bosses,
Yes.
are being respectful.
Bosses.
Well, I
And
wasn't
you
being-
got to cross the line when I said don't say it.
Well, I wasn't being disrespectful.
Yes, you were. It's very disrespectful.
You didn't say
I'll
you
be
were friends
honest with
him.
you. I was this close to being disrespectful,
But you
but
didn't.
Jimmy jumped on it first.
But no, you didn't say.
horrible.
First of all, you didn't say you were friends with him. You just said you played in a tournament
Dude,
with
I'm
him.
just kidding with you, man.
I was actually going to go with
Call it. Stop it right there, please. For 1 second, stop it. He wasn't kidding, and that's what bugged me. It's like I hit a nerve without meaning to.
Yeah.
But he wasn't kidding. He was genuinely pissed off at me. And when he was saying, like, I'm just kidding, man, then it makes it look like if I'm still annoyed, then I'm a jerk. But he wasn't just kidding.
Yeah, you're annoyed, but he was just kidding.
But he wasn't
So
just kidding.
you're the idiot.
He had a genuine reaction. I mean, look, he's a person. I said something. I mean, I'm not saying it's inhuman for somebody to ever be annoyed at something I say. It happens.
Right.
But that's what kind of bothered me. It's like, come on, man. I know you're still angry. I can sense it. But if you're home listening, you hear Chris going there. You go, oh, he's just kidding. Why is Norton still mad? Gee, Norton can't take being criticized?
Exactly.
No, that's not it.
Yeah.
I was sitting next to him.
Yeah, no one
40
was.
years old. I know when someone's pissed off at me when they're 2 feet away from me.
You're not 40 yet.
Almost.
Enjoy the rest of your 30s.
Oh, I'm having a ball.
Don't start telling people you're 40.
Nah, it's just easier.
You're not yet.
Makes me sound wiser in situations like this.
Here's the rest of the clip.
First of all, you didn't say you were friends with him. You just said you played in a tournament
Dude,
with
I'm
him.
just kidding with you, man.
I was actually going to go with
You say what you
I
want.
could see your wheels spinning when he
Yeah.
said that. I was going to go on that.
Is that the last of the clips? That's too bad.
That's the last of the clips?
Really? Do we have more? Hopefully.
That was it?
Bueller?
Yeah, because a lot of people that, like Jimmy's saying, that listen to that give Jimmy crap like, oh, you can't take a joke. Meanwhile, if you were in the studio and saw, like, he was livid.
Yeah, he was livid, and we all know Jimmy. He's not going to back down to that, and you shouldn't, obviously, right?
If he had said to me, hey, dude, that was a friend of mine, I would have honestly said, "Oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I wasn't trying to be a dick. Like I really wasn't. I wasn't. It wasn't a matter of. I don't want people to think that I won't back down. But I wasn't just trying to stand up to Chris Jericho because I liked the guy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a matter of trying to show him. It was none of that. It was I said something stupid. Just being a comic, that's what you do. Everyone in the studio knew that I didn't realize he had a relationship with him. And even when I made that clear, I sensed he was still very angry at me, even though he was going, "Come on, I'm letting it go."
Right.
But he wasn't. He was mad.
And there was a reason he was extremely affected by that line.
Yeah, because he's friends and the stuff that we didn't know. And Opie may have enlightened us a little to that beforehand.
I didn't know we were going down that road. And it's also got to be pointed out that Jimmy was 5 feet away from Jericho. He was heated, and at any moment he could have snapped. I saw a situation where he could easily snap. And I know Jimmy, where Jimmy isn't going to let up. He's going to, if he knows he's, he's getting to you, and you're gonna call him out on stuff. Jimmy's gonna show how good of a comedian he really is.
Well, I felt,
and I was convinced you had 3 or 4 other lines you were ready to go with.
Well, no, and the thing was, it was like I really did on some level feel like, all right, man, I hit the guy close to home without meaning to. He's pissed off at me. Okay, I just didn't want him denying that he was pissed off at me. 'Cause I think at one point he goes, "Well, why do you look like your feelings are hurt?" But they weren't. I was being quiet. The interview was continuing. And then I'm like, I think I said, I'm not hurt, I'm annoyed. And then he said, "What are you annoyed?" I'm letting it go. It was almost like, it was like that perpetually bringing it back thing when I wasn't jumping in and starting with him.
And he kept saying that you were annoyed. Yes. And hey, let it go, let it go. And meanwhile, him saying that led me to believe that he had more of an issue with it than you did. But then every time he would say that, Jimmy would get more annoyed at him because he was being
passive aggressive.
Yeah.
And the thing was, it was like he was pissed off at me. He probably wanted to smack me in the face. I mean, a guy like that he's certainly a type of guy. He's a man's man. He doesn't.
I believe he wanted to.
I do too.
And I also believe just one more line from you and it would have happened. I really do. I think it was the closest we came to having a fight. It's been a while since we've had a fight in the
not
studio.
A fight. It's the closest you came to having a rape, a massacre, a murder, a beating. A fight is not the answer.
And then I'm sitting there, because I know the little nugget of information, and I'm sitting there like, man, do I
spill the beans?
I'm sitting there going, boy, do I let this happen? It'll be great radio. And then I'm like, but Jimmy's my friend. I can't. But I got to step in here.
I wasn't out to push him on that issue. I really wasn't. I wasn't going to.
No, you had every right. But I think if you knew ahead of time why that affected him personally,
I wouldn't have said it.
No, of course not.
I would not have said it.
Of course not.
But even when once I realized he was friends with Chris Reeve, it was like, all right, that's going to happen sometime. We're dealing with a celebrity, because Christopher Reeve was a celebrity. But I wasn't
rolling off the cuff here,
Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't trying to push him on that issue.
We're stalling, by the way, a little bit. Do we have that audio?
No.
Will we have that audio?
Yes.
They're working on it? All right, give me a ETA.
More importantly, do you think Christopher Reeve could beat you up?
In a wheelchair?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
And that I answered really snotty there, good for him. Only because I knew he was mad at me when he was saying.
Well, it was a weird line. It goes, he could still kick your ass. Let's be honest. Christopher Reeve at the end of his life wasn't kicking anybody's ass.
Well, I just knew that was a response to him being mad at me, and I couldn't understand why he was mad at me. At that point, that was the first line after. I was like, why is he mad at me?
When you say, and I love the way you say that, yeah, good for him.
Because I wasn't, it was like.
It was awful. I love it.
That was just a response. I knew the guy was pissed off at me. It was very awkward.
Hey, Maureen on Long Island, what's up?
I was hoping to win the contest.
Jesus.
What contest? Did we...
You know the one you have.
Yeah, and did you hear the sound?
No, I didn't, but I was kind of hoping that it was a...
Let's go to Luke in Miami. Luke, what's up?
Man, that was one of the best shows I heard in a long time. Therese was... that's the black gentleman, Therese, right? If I'm correct.
Patrice?
Therese?
No, Patrice was on my right, yes.
Oh, Patrice was loving it.
Like the white man of CNN. He was keeping this thing in.
Yeah, Patrice did a great job of keeping it light.
Yes.
But keeping it real. He kept bringing the whole thing around. He was analyzing both of you guys and his inimitable style.
I told Jimmy on the phone later on Friday, I'm like, it was a perfect day to have Patrice in.
He was great.
It was a perfect day.
And he also sided with me, which made me, not against Chris, he likes Chris, but as a comic, he said, as a comic, man, ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sorry, Luke, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I just got rid of him, go ahead.
But it was almost like when I feel somebody coming at me that way, Like where I didn't do anything intentional, and I feel like somebody genuinely angry at me. It's like, I mean, I have Patrice is one of my best friends, Voss, Colin, really funny guys who are very good at that. So it's like when he thought he hurt my feelings, that genuine, like, what are you talking about, dude? You didn't get irritated.
Well, do we have the next clip? Oh, we'll have it in 2 minutes.
From 2 minutes. It should be like
any second. Okay.
Patrice was dressed like a pimp or something. I don't know what he was doing. This big leather coat and that hat.
Let's go to Kathy in North Carolina. Kathy.
Hey.
Hey.
I've been trying to get in for years.
To what?
Cool.
A coffin?
Yeah, well.
Let me congratulate myself, pat myself on the back for that.
I just want to tell y'all you were great, and I want the money, and I'll keep trying.
Good luck.
I want the money.
I want
to go.
Money.
I want to go.
I want the money. All right, Kathy, you seem cool. We're going to play the sound clip, and we're going to stretch it out to right near the end of this break. So hang in there, okay?
All right, thanks.
We haven't played it yet. We'll play in a few minutes. Wow, people are definitely digging this sound contest for some reason. Terry in Florida, what's up?
Please.
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
Hey.
Last week you had one of the hottest shows I'd ever heard, and then you had one that made me the most uncomfortable I'd ever been listening to the radio.
Yeah,
It's great.
Know why? Because at any moment it was going to escalate into something pretty ugly. I really believe that.
I thought it was.
I didn't think it was going to be a full closed fist punch, but I thought a bitch slap was right around the corner.
I'm not going to tell you I was not nervous sitting next to Jericho.
And the thought of Jimmy's headphones all spun around on his head, all askew, and kind of wavering in his chair is funny. Yet it would have been tragic.
When you're arguing with a guy like that, I'm sorry,
yeah, no, go, Jimmy.
You have a protective thing, like, yeah, we're both quote unquote entertainers, we're both on the radio, but I don't necessarily feel that because the bottom line is he's a wrestler and he's an author now, but he's still a man.
Yeah,
like, I still realize that I'm dealing with a guy who is who hit people with chairs for a living.
Yeah, big guy and a very aggressive guy. Those guys are all like, they're very aggressive males.
Yeah, you can't let somebody. And again, I'm not saying he was necessarily trying to hurt me, but he was just. No. I don't like to be alpha mailed. I don't like that because I'm a small guy and I've always had guys like that, and I tend to be a dick when somebody is trying to.
I hear you, Jimmy. I hear you. Let's play the third clip in the confrontation here. No, something I was going to bring up, which ties. All right. So it was getting ugly, and you could feel the tension. And a few people on the message boards had a problem with me jumping in here, but I'm sorry. I really thought Jericho was going to hit Jimmy, and I like Jimmy. If it was anybody else, I'd sit there and let it happen for the beauty of it. Trust me, I would. But I'm not letting anyone hit Anthony. I'm not letting anyone hit Jimmy. E-Rock, Than,
E-Rock could take a punch.
Than could take care of himself, and the rest of these guys, But I was kind of bummed because I'm like, wow, this is a really good radio moment, but this is going to get ugly. I have to say something. I have some knowledge that Jimmy doesn't have and Anthony doesn't have.
You were right, too, by the way, because when this happened, after you said what you said, it allowed me to know exactly what bothered him so much and where he was coming from.
Because I think you were confused by his reaction.
Extremely.
Yeah, because Chris Jericho is a fun guy. He is considered a comedian, and he likes to have a good time. But this reaction of his was over the top and continued even past the moment when you even were like, chill out. Dude.
Yeah, it just hit him personally.
Yeah. All right, and let's get to the clip finally. I'm sorry. No, something I was going to bring up, which ties everything in. Your mom's a quadriplegic.
That's right.
That's why he's a little sensitive.
How funny do you think you are now, mother? So now you feel bad, don't you? I told you not to cross the line.
No, but I talk about suicide. My friends have committed suicide. It's like as a subject, you look at something like that. You don't ever want to, but that was something that obviously hit you hard for that reason. But you can't. That's look at me like I'm being a dick on purpose because I'm not.
This is hits very close to home, obviously. So when you went there, I was like, wow, this is gonna be interesting. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you, my father's a quadriplegic too.
Well, he's
been dead for a few years.
No, Chris,
his limbs don't work.
But that's funny.
And then Patrice is just like, calm the F down.
That was a very ballsy line by Anthony.
Yeah.
But does it sound like what I'm saying to him, like I'm not being a dick on purpose as a subject? I'm really trying to explain myself. I'm not saying F you, or I'm not trying to mother F Jericho. I really am trying to explain myself at that point, because when you said that, it made complete sense. It's a very personal thing for him.
Yeah, he just like had this internal anger about the situation that he didn't want,
and it happened
out. And
it happened in a horrific way, by the way. Most people would assume like a car accident or something, but I guess she had a boyfriend that did it to her. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, which was obviously
which
a brutal,
is just horrific
thing. And so maybe that hit like a violence or an but again, I'm trying to. You can hear me explain myself. I'm not jabbing my finger in his face. I'm literally trying to explain where I was coming from.
Yeah.
So
is that the last one we have?
I mean, it goes on and on, but we have the video clips. Where are they, Sam?
Yeah, the videos.
There's more on the video clips that we're not discussing here.
Yeah, and you can
they're at Sam's house. You could see them on a big screen, on a big movie projector.
We could easily spend another half hour on this, but
projections.
You can see in their faces on the video, like the points of annoyance for both of them.
Can you see on the video that he is genuinely mad when he's saying he's not?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
and he was at one point. I'm sitting, Chris. The way we sit at the other studio is it's Anthony, it was Jericho, it was me, Patrice on my right, Opie's in front of us. So on my left, Chris turns towards me in his chair. He's almost like a little kid in the chair because he has his feet up and he's gritting his teeth at me. And I can see, as a male, you have male instincts. I'm like, this guy is very angry at me right now.
And he was pissed. You had said, okay, let's move on. And then he was like, okay, yeah, we're all good. And he started saying, so, give us some wacky material, some of your jokes.
Yeah. Hey, come on, you're a comedian. Be funny.
And it's like, regardless of what happened, as a comic, I'm not going to be taunted like that because you can't. It's almost like, you can't be. Just like if I was jabbing him like that, he certainly would have come back.
Yeah,
it's just...
The jabs were going back and forth for the rest of the show, and it was just underlying for the next 45 minutes. So, I mean, we could play the whole damn thing, but we got other things to do today. So check out the video clips. Where are they, Sam?
Yeah, they're all on YouTube now. There's 2 of them. They'll be on the onaradio.com at any minute now. They've been sent over there. So
okay,
but somebody on a message board is like, I hope Norton doesn't start trashing Jericho. No, I like Jericho. That's genuine. I like the guy. I think he's a great guest. I wish it didn't happen, but I just a little irritated that he thought he hurt my feelings. No, I was angry.
Damn, you just been pwned.
That was kind of what I think that he was thinking when he thought. But he was saying, do more wacky material. Or like Dan just pointed out, he kept rating my jokes. Now, that was funny.
Yeah.
Someone does that, it's like...
He's good at that type of thing, though. That's one of his strengths.
Yeah, but there was a lot more that happened.
He's good at being a dick when he wants to be. His character in wrestling has always been like that.
Well, that's why, too, it wasn't a work, He wasn't sitting there putting on a wrestling thing. It was the real deal. Yeah.
And I don't think that again, I'm not going to speak for Chris, but I think the fact that he got so really angry at me, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of, it's like when you really are, like, you become that genuinely angry at somebody and then you just try to play it off like, no, I wasn't that mad, I was just kidding. But it's like, come on, man, I feel that coming from you.
I'm only kidding with you.
But it's a tough one, man. Being in his position with a mom that's in that situation. Course. So it's.
But had he said that, not that you should have to preface every sentence you make with that, but if he had said, look, dude, Chris was a friend of mine, and my mother happens to be in that condition, and that really bugs me. I would have immediately, I tried to back off immediately, like, oh, dude, he's a famous. I would have explained myself immediately and said, look, sorry, no harm intent. Of course I would have. I'm not a jackass. I'm really not.
But it just, it escalated, and then Patrice didn't help. He helped the situation by keeping it funny, but he just kept it. He kept pounding it.
He poking.
And then when he said Jimmy, my favorite was when he commented that Jimmy was acting like Jimmy for the rest of the show. Like you were trying to be Jimmy Norton, the guy on the radio, but you were so far removed from that guy at that point.
Irritated. Yeah, I was very irritated.
She's just looking at you going, look, he's trying to be Jimmy Norton. Look at him.
He was right. I was very irritated.
Yeah. Oh, you could see it.
And then we had Red Rum come in, our Pal Talk friend, and she flashed. And then dirty, awful Patrice used my situation with Jericho as a reason to say awful things to her.
Oh, yeah.
He tried to piggyback. It was funny the way he psychoanalyzed me and Chris, and then immediately ping-ponged into an awful remark about her.
Yeah.
Like, you sneak.
And then everybody started using other people to make awful remarks about other people in the room.
Yeah.
It was one of those amazing shows.
Opie's famous for that. Opie will look at you and go, look at Sam. He's looking at Anthony. He wants to go, you drunk. Like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Sam didn't say that.
Opie always insults on a ricochet.
But I'm not always. I go, look,
I've done 8 years.
I have no problem doing the ricochet, but I'll go right at you too.
It was. I never realized you did that though. It's a brilliant tactic. It was like, because all of a sudden Ant's looking at Sam like, "Hey, why would you?"
Hey,
think
Sam, you ass. Meanwhile, Opie just insulted me.
Sam's like, "I'm not thinking that. I don't even know what race I am." Why would I?
One of my favorite things to do is to be just vicious to your face, and then at the end just give you like a slight wink, like.
Right.
Oh, that smooths it over.
Oh yeah, barely, but
does it?
I think it adds a little more insult to injury. All right, so like I said, I know we're gonna have to do one of these days when we take a day off. We'll have to play that whole thing over.
Yeah.
Because we could talk about it for another half hour, but the videos are up there on YouTube if you want to get a little more of that. And next time we take a day, we'll play the whole saga for everybody.
And
okay?
Nothing against the staff, but I honestly was hoping that the line of the day. Would have
wimped out.
That would have been the line of the day. Would have been the line that Jimmy said that got him so upset. I honestly thought you guys are going to do that, but I wasn't sure. That's one of those calls though, where it's like this is either going to be really funny or I'm fired.
I didn't.
That's the only way you get ahead in this stupid
at the
business.
end of the show, we do line of the day, and it should have been the line that started the whole thing.
Right. Yeah.
And I was convinced the guys had balls to do it, but
not even the setup, just what Jimmy said would have been fine.
Even discuss it.
Yes.
And what was the final?
When we were discussing it, it was about 30 minutes before Patrice had started smoothing it over. It was really still tense in there.
Right.
At the end of the show, it would have made perfect sense. Everybody was laughing and saying, "Oh, this is funny," but like it wasn't there yet. And I don't know. Maybe I need to be more of a shock staffer.
All right, we gotta take a break.
A weird call.
Yeah. All right, we gotta take a break. When we get back. That's my rules. That's how I look at things.
We have, and it doesn't mean we can't be disagreeing with. There were plenty of people that disagreed with me, like on Whackbag about the Jericho situation, and plenty of people that agreed with me. I didn't like the way some of them took a certain tact about it because they were just wrong. I was sitting here. And by the way, BJ Shea in Seattle fucking rules.
Why? What happened?
Because he had Jericho on, and Mr. I'm Over It, first thing he says about me, he's like, "Oh, yeah, that guy's an idiot." So it's like,
do we have audio of that?
I have it somewhere.
I think it's on. Actually, you know, I said that knowing I think we do. Well, I'm not really sure.
Which is fine.
I saw a YouTube video from BJ Shane and said Chris Jericho, so that must be the audio.
Yeah.
Can we get that?
But BJ was just
me and
cool.
BJ worked together back in the day with Brother Weeze. He's just a stand-up
really
guy,
is,
man. He's a great guy.
It really is. So, but whatever. Plenty of people disagree with me on that. Whatever.
Well, you know what? Even though I've been jaded on a lot of message boards, when I go home, I will go and I will register.
Thank you. All right, so here's Chris Jericho went on BJ Shea's show out there in Seattle. This is how it went down.
We just don't want another Opie and Anthony thing. We're just trying to make sure we understand each other because I don't want to piss you off unintentionally.
Oh, yeah, or intentionally, like that guy. That guy was an idiot, man.
Well, no,
absolutely.
Jim Norton's a really good friend of ours, so that's...
Pause it right there.
Oh, Jimmy, you're an idiot.
No, but like, or intentionally, like, right there, as many times as I explained, I did not know Chris Reeve was a friend of yours. And I explained it nicely. I said, I'm not trying to be a dick. That's the conclusion he drew. Fuck him. Ooh. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I would rather have him sitting... Seriously, I would rather say that to him while he's in the studio. That is the conclusion he came to, or intentionally. Hey, sorry, I'm not a part of a business where I cut my fucking head with a razor and smash people with chairs. Sorry, I don't have the entertainment integrity that you do in the business you're in. Sorry, I don't blow myself up in a limo. And, hey, that's funny. Again, unless, of course, you're a soldier in fucking Iraq who's been killed by a car bomb. Then I guess not so funny. You want to go down that road with humor? You will never win this argument.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm not yelling at you.
Oh,
it really annoys me.
More intentionally, like that guy was an idiot, man.
Well, now,
absolutely.
See, our problem is Jim Norton's a really good friend of ours, so that's why we sure as heck can't go on the side, and we think you're a good guy and you've been good to us too. So we're in a tough position where we got two guys who we have a lot of respect for who kind of don't like each other right now.
I'll just tell them not to make paraplegic jokes and we'll be okay.
Yeah. It was a quadriplegic joke, first of all. All right? Big difference. And why, again, you see, don't make paraplegic jokes. Okay, fine. But in wrestling, you can, and speaking of paraplegics, no one has ever imitated my job and smashed themselves through a table in a backyard like backyard wrestling fans do. Mm-hmm. No one has ever emulated what I do and hurt themselves or injured themselves terribly.
Sucked little children's dicks, but...
Well, that's true.
You know.
You want to hear more of this?
I've heard it already. It doesn't matter to me. I was just pointing out, like, that's how he starts out.
it was just such a crazy experience. The room just went black when all this stuff went down, but it was fun. That what makes exciting radio. It's better than answering the same questions over and over again.
By the way, I got a lot of respect for you because you're right. It was great radio, and a lot of people don't realize that look, you're doing a show, you're entertaining people, and like you say, you have to answer the same dumb questions all the time when you're on tour. And it was memorable, and I got to be thinking that probably people who may not have wanted to come see you might have come see you because of the whole drama.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, BJ definitely stuck up for me in the situation, which I appreciate. It was nice. He didn't just side with the guy who was on the show.
One thing is too, and I think that Jimmy realized this. Like I was playing a part too. Like we're acting and playing a character when you're doing these radio shows because it is fun. I mean, you turn up the heat a bit and people get interested. And it's like, well, is he really mad? Is he really doing this? Like, so that's why
see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Chris, you were mad at me.
Yeah, he was, let me jump in here, Jimmy. He was absolutely mad at you. And then maybe somewhere down the road he was playing a part. I don't know.
Right.
But I'll tell you right now, he was as mad as they come, man.
And this is what I meant when I was talking about what pissed me off. It wasn't that he even got mad at me. It was that it's like, come on, Chris, stop saying that you're playing a part because I didn't pretend I was playing a part. I was pissed off. But you're not playing a part. You were angry at me.
He didn't want to come across and say that he was pissed.
Yeah, it's like, why not just admit that you were pissed off? It was a genuine thing. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you can't have it both ways. Oh, I was pissed off. Oh, no, well, he was an idiot for saying that, but I was playing a part. No, stop trying to have such control over the way you behave. Stop it. You were pissed off. It's okay.
I was like, well, is he really mad? Is he really doing this? Like, so that's why people liked what I did, whatever it may be, wrestling or acting or with a band or, whatever it is. You're entertaining. It's show business. So that's all part of it.
So am I thinking then the paraplegic line really didn't bother you? You just thought this is how I would be bothered by it? I'm a little confused because I really felt like you were bothered by it, but you're just saying you were just, doing some entertainment?
No. I was bothered by it at first more than anything because I told him not to say anything about it.
Pause it right there, please.
Don't make a bad joke.
Right there, and I said this. What bothered him was that as an alpha male, he told me not to do something, and I did it. And therein lays the problem. I did something he told me not to do.
He told you not to.
Yes. Told me not to.
I told him not to say anything about it, and I said, don't make a bad joke. Friends were friends. He still had to say the joke, and I felt that was very disrespectful to me because I told him not to. I asked him not to, said that Christopher Reeve and I were friends.
See, it's right there. I'm not even going to say he's lying. He's probably just actually not remembering it correctly. It was, a week ago. But I'm saying he's probably, I don't think he's intentionally being deceitful there. He did not say we're friends. I said to him, why didn't you tell me? I didn't know you were friends. Mm-hmm. And then he just went, I told you not to do. But he's painting it like I said, hey, Jim, don't do it. Chris and I are friends. And then I barreled ahead anyway. Line out. Do you see how people remember things? What bullshit that is? It's bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not the truth.
So anyways, when it first happened and when that was first said, it did kind of bother me. But then when I said whatever I said back to Jimmy, I could tell he was bothered back. So when he was bothered back, that's kind of when I started to stir it up a little bit more. Like he would have said it and then that was it, fine. But when I mentioned what I said back, I kind of could tell that his feelings were hurt, that the tables were turned on the shock comedian that's not used to ever having that happen to him. That's when I kind of started needling a little bit more.
Really?
And that's kind of where I was talking about.
Pause this, please pause this. I'm not going to listen to this Really? The shock comedian who's not used to going up against the wrestling brilliance of you? Do you understand I have been fucking going back and forth with Patrice and Colin and Keith and Bobby and fucking brutal guys like that for a long time? Do you understand that? What do you think? You're the first one to ever say anything unpleasant to me?
He got you.
That's what is driving me nuts. And the shock comedian, what was so shocking about that line? Again, that's your perception of comedy. I don't look at it like it's shocking at all. You know what's shocking to me? That you need to entertain people, so what you do is you hide a razor blade and you slice your head. That to me is shock entertainment. You slice your head and then smash another human being with a chair. Gee, I don't know. The shock comedian? What's so shocking about my dumb line when you have to fucking cut your head with a razor and hit people with a chair to entertain them? No, I wasn't used to having being up against such a tough warrior. Gee, I've never had that before. Somebody say something unpleasant.
How about making a joke about paraplegics? Aside from being maybe in an occupation where people are made paraplegics constantly and then just thrown to the wayside when it happens.
What I'm saying, and I'm not knocking wrestling. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that at all.
Oh.
But to be like, to have that fucking elitist attitude about something because I said something you don't like, when you do that to entertain people, and the way wrestling parodies everything. Mm-hmm. They make fun of everything. They make fun of retards, the two black guys that are They fucking goof on everything in wrestling. Midgets, they've been making a living teasing midgets for 25 years.
Yeah. That's kind of really starting to lay it in thick. And I could tell that we had struck something that was a little bit different than the norm. Let's work with it for a bit.
All right. I think BJ finally explained your side of this to him.
Yeah. But here's what I'm saying to you, Chris, because you're an entertainer, and this is where I get aggravated at people who are in the business of entertaining. This is what Jim Norton is supposed to do, and I don't think if you're an entertainer, you're selling your book, you want people to interview you, those guys have a job like we have a job, to put on entertaining radio, and I think you took it too personally. And I think as a guy like you who's as professional as you as an entertainer, I think that was a mistake, because this is what Norton does. And this is what we all do to entertain. I mean, it was a funny joke.
It wasn't a funny joke. It was a bad joke. And
I disagree with that.
But comedy is comedy. It's the beauty in the eyes of the beholder. And the point is, you see, I think we're on two completely separate wavelengths here. In the fact that, I mean, you're taking a stand for Jimmy. I've done O&A like 10 times. Opie and Anthony are great guys. I love doing the show. We've had some ridiculous experiences. I've never met Jimmy Norton in my life. I didn't even know who he was. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying, listen, when I sit down with someone, I'm coming to Opie and Anthony's studio as a guest of theirs, having a great time. When he said that, it was like, well, listen, that's kind of a little bit disrespectful. When I just said, please don't say it.
But Chris,
first of all, I'm not angry he didn't remember, like, because I was here the last time that he came on the show, which is fine. I mean, guy does a million interviews. That's fine. I mean, I'm not familiar with his wrestling either. I know who he is, but not his career. But that's the fact that you're ignorant of what goes on in the show is not my problem. Like, you're ignorant to the day-to-day workings of the show doesn't mean I'm going to change what I do. I don't understand where you're coming from with that.
I think BJ continues here.
I'm just telling you, Chris, so to give you insight to the business. Us radio guys.
I know the business, man.
But we hate it when someone comes in.
Just as you have.
I'll tell you,
I hate smart-ass radio DJs who think they own the damn world, dude. We're having a conversation and discussing things. I don't even know, like, is Jimmy Norton, are you like his lover or something? What's the deal?
Now, Chris, here's the thing. Now, you just taken a shot at me, and I've been very respectful to this.
You have not been.
Of course I have.
You have not been respectful.
What have I said? What have I said that's disrespectful to you?
Wow.
What have I insulted about your career, about your book? Have I said anything at all about you as a performer? No, I have not.
Yes, you have.
What did I say? No, I don't know if I can talk to you anymore. I don't know if I can talk to you anymore because I'm not disrespecting you at all. But, Chris, I think you take things way too personally, which is probably why you got into that whole thing with Norton in the first place.
Wow, bravo to my old friend BJ Shea.
BJ Shea is a nice dude, and even said to him, I respect you as an entertainer. I think he took it too. He's not attacking Jericho. This is a guy who is so used to having his ass kissed and having everything he does. He's just used to a man who's used to being listened to and dictating what other people are going to do.
Yeah, and when you pull those shenanigans, I told him.
Oh, my. Did you fucking hear that shit? And then he says, I told him, me and Chris, you did not say that, dude. And when I said you should have told me that, you said, I shouldn't have to.
That never works well with us when you say, I told you not to go down that road.
He might not have found it funny, but it was a funny joke.
And it wasn't even that rough a joke.
No.
It really wasn't.
No. I've heard you do much worse on the subject.
We got the final clip here.
I'm done.
Will you let me finish? When the thing with Norton was done, Opie and Anthony were totally like, we love having you. You're a great guy. Please come back. That was great radio. That was like our little thing on Opie and Anthony. You saw it on the video camera or whatever it was. It wasn't the Jimmy Norton show. It was the Opie and Anthony show.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, and Opie and Anthony were on my side, or not on my side, anybody's side. Opie and Anthony were very respectful, as they always have been. Jimmy Norton, I don't know if he's a guest host on the show. I don't know if he's on the show every day. Is he just another guest?
He's a member of the show, yeah.
Okay, but to me, I'd never seen him when they never explained anything. It's the Opie and Anthony show. Now, if Opie or Anthony were talking about it, it's a different thing. And they wouldn't say it either because they're respectful of their guests.
No.
Okay, there's another
Jimmy Norton
line.
show, he can say whatever the hell he wants.
Okay, there's another line.
Hey, Chris, we do have to run, and you know what? I think you make some. No, we do. I mean, we have to, but you make good points.
Another line then. Okay, so it was the Opie and Anthony show. They can say what they want, but I thought the problem was that it was a bad joke. So I hope somebody else can at least understand the horse shit he is spewing about this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should get.
Well, that'll make a few wrestling message boards, and then people will bash you.
Who cares?
And
I don't give a fuck.
I know you don't.
But let him.
Let's go get Chris Jericho back on the phone tomorrow or Wednesday.
If he wants to come on, yeah, I would love to hear that explanation. It's the Opie. I understand that. It wasn't like I took over the interview. I'm not a wrestling fan. I said very little about that.
Mm-hmm.
And after he, this is what really annoys me. And Opie and Anthony were very respectful. Afterwards, I even talked to him and said I would never have been disrespectful about your mother if I had known I was not trying to do that. I was very cool with him about that. I was not arrogant or a douchebag to him in any way, shape, or form. But he doesn't mention that. Ugh. Sorry I didn't listen to the alpha male. Sorry.
Let's say hi to Shane in Tennessee. Shane?
Hey, boys, how are you?
Good.
Jimmy, I don't think it was just the point of it was a bad line or anything, because it was a good fucking line. The thing is, I think that he just got mad that he told you not to do it. The little guy smarted off to him. What shit he could do about it, so he got his panties in a wad, and he just can't get over the fact that a smaller guy said, you know, what you did say to him. There ain't shit he can do about it. He's not used to that. He's a cocky fucking jock like they were in high school, and when you smarted off to him in high school, they could beat you up. Not anymore. This is the fucking real world, so he can go fuck himself.
He's probably wrecked guys like you.
Of course
Just
he
wrecked
has.
them.
Of course he has.
He's a fucking douche.
And the problem...
Frankus.
And again, it was, yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it is. He has wrecked guys like me. Of course he has. And he could now if he wanted to. I'm not coming off like I'm standing up to Jericho. Believe me, if he wanted to smack me in the face, I would shut my mouth. I'm not an idiot.
Let's go to...
I don't want to see that, because I couldn't help.
I don't either, and I wouldn't expect you to.
I would give the old, leave him alone.
I wouldn't expect you to jump in. Guys, they're edgy.
Let's say hi to Chris Jericho. Chris. Ooh.
Hey, what's going on?
Chris. There's been so much confusion after your last appearance on the Opie and Anthony show, and then we were kind of over it, but then I guess you were on BJ Shea and it came up again.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. First of all, it's Jericho and Norton Part 2. This is like the most talked about radio show of all time.
Yeah, people commenting on it on websites and
it's become legendary.
Other shows.
I've been doing the book tour, and I was in Seattle last week, and I did the BJ show, and then he was very upset about it, Mr. BJ. So yeah, he was very excitable about the whole situation. So it's just becoming legendary from coast to coast, man, from New York all the way to Washington.
Well, they had sent me an email. This is Norton. They had sent me an email, and they said, do you guys object if we play the audio for Chris? I actually thought he was going to the studio. So I'm like, no, play it. I mean, we play other people's audio.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey, tell him I said hello, and, whatever, hope he's doing good, but just, stupid email. And then you're on, and they bring it up, and you're like, Norton, that guy's an idiot. So I'm like, all right, well.
Let me say one thing. To be honest with you, as soon as I said that, I felt bad about it. I shouldn't have said that, and I apologize to you, because what had happened was it's one of those things where I left, I think, at like 3:30 in the morning from L.A. to fly to Seattle. When I got in, it was kind of blindsided me, and I said, that guy's an idiot. And then as soon as I said it, man, I shouldn't have said that. So I apologize to you, Mr. Norton, for calling you an idiot on the Washington radio station. So I just want to clear that up right off the bat.
All right, thank you. That's cool, man. It was like, and then you were talking about the shock comic thing, and it's like that I was kind of like taken back that you had called me on something, but I really wasn't, man. Like, I don't consider myself to be a shock comic. I honestly don't, and I wasn't mad that you called me on something. I was just kind of bothered that you were mad at me. Of course, I didn't like the fact that I do a joke and someone's pissed off at me, but I mean, it wasn't like, whoa, this guy, I'm trying to be shocking and he shut me down. I didn't feel like I was trying to be shocking.
I got you. And it's another one of those things too. Like, I honestly, to be honest with you, and this is just being clear in the air and stuff. I didn't really know much about who you were, right? And obviously now I know you have a book and you have an HBO special, you have a pretty big career. It's just one of those things that when you do a lot of shows, there's a lot of guys that are kind of like, and you know what I'm talking about, like Opie and Anthony, they'll have like a couple guys in the studio, like kind of lackeys or whatever, you know what I mean? Like guys that you don't really know. And I didn't know your past, and obviously now that I know, it's a whole different thing that you have a big career and you know you're a pretty famous guy, and that's cool. Like I said, it's one of those things that I think it's been blown out of proportion. And in the studio that day, I wasn't even all that mad, to be honest with you, as we kept going, because it was more fun. Like we were stirring each other up, and Patrice was in there, and Opie and Anthony were in there, and it was actually becoming. It was almost like, to me, it was almost like a show business thing where we were starting to, you know, mess with each other and push each other's buttons, which I thought, like I told my friend afterwards, this is like the funnest show I've ever done.
Chris,
it's real.
Yeah, Chris, it's Opie. I'm confused by that point because you absolutely were bothered by it in the beginning, and then, huh?
Yeah, I was bothered.
All right, so let's at least admit that, and then you got over it, I guess, because you know I saw it in your eyes. You're like, you were really bothered by that line, and then I guess maybe you understood in your head and digested it a little bit, and then I kind of believe that you could have possibly been like, you know, playing it up a bit for good radio and whatnot. But definitely in the beginning you were bothered.
And I'll agree. I agree with Chris on something too. It did at one point, even though we were kind of just going back and forth. I mean, it wasn't horrible. It was just jabs. But there was a weird energy, which I kind of did like. Excuse me, because it's like I've argued with, you know, Colin and Patrice and comedians for so many years. Like we've just bantered back and forth and attacked each other, and that's just part of what we do. But there was a weird energy because he's not a comic, and it's like he's a wrestler. And I mean, he wasn't being menacing in any way, but I'm like, he really could just get annoyed and crack me in the face. And it was like, I certainly didn't want that to happen, but it kind of added a different element that I certainly wasn't used to, which it did make it interesting. I'll say that.
And Chris, you got to understand, Jimmy and Patrice and those guys, they come from a place, I mean, you could understand this, no holds barred. That's what they're all about.
Oh, they say awful things about each other.
Awful things about them.
About their lives
I get that, and I have a warped sense of humor as well. I think under different circumstances, I probably would think that a lot of that, you know, that's that kind of stuff. So the only thing that bothered me, and not even the fact of the joke of the blink off and all that stuff, it's the fact that I said, you know, don't say it, and then Jimmy said it, and that's what made me mad. It was like, you know, I said, come on, man, don't say this, and then he did. And that was where I was coming from. I felt it was kind of like, oh, come on, man, did you really have to do that? If I said, like, Opie, let me, you know, people have been calling me Mr. Pink. You know, please don't call me Mr. Pink. I just don't want to hear it. And then the first thing you say is, hey, Mr. Pink, how you doing?
All right, Mr. Pink. Let me jump in. If you would have said that off air, then that would be up to Jimmy, obviously. But when you say something like that on the air, I don't know, man. I mean, when someone says that to me, the first thing I need to do is say exactly what he's telling me not to say. And I've been punched in the face for doing it. I'm no pussy. I'm not hiding behind a microphone or anything. I have been punched in my regular life because I have said or did something that someone told me right to my face, don't do that, don't say that. But it's a tough position to put Jimmy in. Like, you know,
well, that's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. Like I said, you know, no one likes being told what to do. I mean, if you told me not to say something, I'd probably say it too. But my point is, like, you know, we had different opinions on the subject, and that's cool. That's why it's good to have different people with different thoughts and different mindsets and different opinions. We disagreed on it, we argued about it, and that's kind of what people do. You know, that's what. I mean, I don't think it's ever good if everyone's sitting together on the radio or any conversation like, wow, we all agree the same way, and we're all happy, and flowers are blooming, and the sun is shining, and the air smells clear. It's like I disagreed with what he said, he disagreed with what I said, and we had a little bit of a debate about it. And now it's become, you know, a legendary piece of radio business, and that's part of show business. That's part of entertaining people.
I'll give you this much: you had the balls to come back on our show. A lot of guys wouldn't. Well, because a lot of guys go and hide after controversy.
And I'll tell you, Chris, my thoughts at that exact moment, like when you said to me, like, don't do it. I can honestly tell you, on 100%. Where my head was at the moment, kind of like sometimes like something will happen and people will go, hey, don't go there, like they don't really, like they're like, don't really say that, not really meaning it in a serious way. And it's like I told you, it was really true too. Like we handled other things, other sensitive subjects that were talked about earlier in the thing were handled very kind of like, you know, respectfully and cool. And if you had said to me, hey man, come on, he's a friend of mine, don't go there, I mean, maybe it shouldn't as a comic, but that would have made a tremendous difference to me, knowing that it personalized it for you. And I know a lot of people now go, "Oh, Nord's a pussy. He wouldn't have said it." But I mean, that honestly would have made a difference for me. And that really is just where it was for me. It wasn't to try to be like, "Hey, fuck him. He told me not to do something. I'm going to do it."
Right.
You know, I honestly
I thought that I did mention that Chris and I were friends.
It was after. Yeah, it was after.
Okay, after. Okay, the point is this, man. It's like, and first of all, like the one thing that you just said, it bothers me on a personal level because, like, not bothers me in a bad way, but like I've known you guys for years, man. Like I said, the first show I think we did was in 2000. It's like, why wouldn't I come back on? I think it'd be a real pussy thing.
Yeah.
To not come on. I mean, I mean, just because you have a disagreement, that's part of, like I said, you know, I could go on your show and have 100 disagreements and argue toe-to-toe with you and call you the biggest fucking prick in the world. It doesn't mean I'm not going to come back on next time because I think our relationship runs deeper than that. And also, like I said, for Jimmy to not go back on and talk to you, it's stupid because next time I do the show, me and Jimmy could be the greatest comedy wacky duo of all time. I mean, that's... I think to not go back on, it would be a real pussy move because there's nothing to I mean, we have an argument. It's done. You know, you have a disagreement. We'll never agree on that point, but that doesn't mean that we can't talk and you know, shoot the breeze on other things too. So, of course I'm going to come back on.
I guess at this point we just need an apology from you. Well, just because, you know, the thing was blown out of proportion, and I think it would just like make everyone feel a little better about themselves if you apologize that you might have overreacted. And that was just a joke.
I apologize for giving you the most memorable radio show
there you
of
go.
all time.
All right, and there's a part 2 to this. Now you have to officially announce on our show that you're going to be on Raw next week.
I apologize for the war in Darfur. I apologize for...
Why can't you give us one lousy scoop?
It goes all the way back to when you wanted me to admit that I was Chris Jericho when I was playing Moongoose. I just can't do it now.
Moongoose. Come on, man.
I never do that now. I mean,
why not blow up? Why not have it happen today instead of in some boring press release that is just kind of released? Let's get the buzz going right now.
The thing is, I think people have a sense of entitlement nowadays because you can go and like look things up on the internet or things along those lines. I'm a magician with many secrets and tricks, so I don't like to give things up. I think it's better. Like you could go and open up your Christmas presents on December 20th, but there's no fun in that. So I think it's better just for everyone just to wait and see what happens, and see how it unfolds.
Well, how about give us something where the wrestling sites have to go, well, Chris Jericho was on Opie and Anthony, and he said this about his return to the WWE.
I say my return will be sooner than 10 years from now and later than tomorrow.
All right. That's a confirmation right there.
Hey, all right.
That's the confirmation you need. There you go.
That's a quote, but remember, for all the wrestling freaks out there, on the Opie and Anthony show, Chris Jericho had the following to say. How's the book tour, all right?
Yeah, it's going great, man. The book is on the New York Times bestseller list, which is very cool.
Oh, nice.
And I'm finished the U.S. tour. I got to go to Canada today, up to the land of milk and honey.
Oh, really? What part of Canada are you going to be in?
Oh, no. Oh, you know, we had really just kind of hashed things out.
That was cool, though, man. That was cool.
Jimmy and Chris really talked to each other nicely. And
how can I be mad after that? You can't.
And look, Sam is livid right now.
I'm just mad that he was able to get Tur out. Because what other Canadian cities start with Tur?
He's on the bestseller list, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Because right now is not an easy time to get on.
No.
Because it is just like all these. There's a lot of books in nonfiction,
right?
Like big books in nonfiction. So that's actually it's really impressive.
All right. Who's this?
It's Chris again. I mentioned Canada. You hung up on me. I thought that was a bit.
Damn.
No,
it's what part of Canada you going to? Hang up.
Why would that be a bit? That's boring. That's hack crap. That's something BJ would do.
Ah, nice. You know, we can start a BJ, Opie, and Anthony feud.
No, actually, me and him go way back, and he was, I don't know what he was doing. No, he felt the same way as we did. That's what that came down to.
You'll get along with him, though. He's a really good dude, man. It's just
same thing, though. We had a 20-minute argument, like yelling and screaming at each other, and then as soon as it was done, it was like, hey, man, that was great radio. Thanks. Talk to you later. Next time you're in town, come on in. You know, so I think a lot of people have egos that are very easily bruised and are very easily shattered. Whereas I think sometimes a good argument is good for everybody. It's fun.
Right.
It's fun to debate. It's like being on the high school debating team.
Hey, are they asking you about steroids on this whole book tour?
Yeah, every time. Every show, they ask me about steroids and they ask me about Benoit. But the best thing is they ask as if it's the first time that you've ever heard the question.
Right.
Well, and even better is you'll do like these, morning news shows or some of the Fox News things that I've done, and you'll have like a 5-minute segment, and you'll talk about, the book or whatever for like 3.5, 4 minutes, and the very last, the last minute will be, so how did you feel when all these things happened with Chris Benoit? And then you got like 45 seconds, and it's like...
let me wrap it up.
Do you really want to... Yeah, exactly. Like, do you really want to get into this now? Give me half an hour, I'll tell you.
Nah, they're a bunch of pussies because they know if they ask that question right off the bat that you would probably walk or might walk or other celebrities would walk when it comes to that, controversial stuff. It's just, it's a lame way to do an interview.
Now, you've attributed your success in your career to steroids, right?
I 100% I'm on steroids right now.
You heard it here first.
100%.
When you had there was like one security guard that came into the room the other day, but now we're going to say there was like 12 security guards.
Of course.
I was foaming at the mouth, ready to just take them all on. You had me actually chained by a collar.
Why wouldn't you just blow up your spot and just completely admit it? Like say, I was doing steroids so much I didn't know where I was anymore. Why not just go the other way with it on national TV?
How well it went for Danny Bonaducci.
That would be the best way to do it next time. Just freak out. Like, actually walk out with a needle sticking out of my arm.
Oh, sorry. You can pull it out. Yeah.
Yeah, like, oh, jeez, I'm sorry.
I always forget that darn thing.
Like having a bit of food on your face or something. Oh, sorry. Is it gone now?
That's why I don't think we'll ever be part of the mainstream, because as we're joking about that, I'm like, yeah, that'd be a cool thing to do. We wouldn't consider doing something like that.
Did you hear the way CNN kind of douched John Cena? They replayed part of his answer.
See, this is the thing, and this is one thing I learned about a lot of media over the summer when I did a few of the shows that I did talking about Benoit, is that it's very manipulative, sensationalistic, and for those people who don't know, they did a story on steroids and wrestling, all this, that, and the other thing, and they did an interview with John Cena where they just used a little clip of his quote and they used it out of context. But the stupid thing about it is that the WWE was filming the entire interview. So not only did they do like misleading journalism, but they did it with an actual camera filming it at the same time. So, and this is scary to me. Like if CNN's going to do this about a wrestling story,
that's what I was
getting
at today.
What else do they manipulate?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me play it. It's really quick. We cut it right down because it's worth mentioning. This isn't getting as much play as it should. This is kind of scary crap. So this is CNN. CNN makes it seem like Cena is taking steroids. Listen to this clip.
John Cena is a WWE superstar, now recovering from an injury in the ring. He doesn't like being asked if he has used steroids.
This is a crazy question, and it's something that it's tough to answer just because of the way society is now. I can't tell you that I haven't, but you'll never be able to prove that I have.
So what does that make it sound like there,
sounds
Chris?
like I'm not talking. But,
very
but I do them, but I'm not talking about it.
Doesn't that make it sound like, look, I've done them, but prove that I have, right?
It sounds like a very arrogant statement.
Right. So, and then I didn't know it was WWE was in the room filming. Is this what they do to cover their own ass?
Absolutely.
Good idea.
So this is the WWE camera roll. And listen to this.
Have
Same
you ever
thing.
used steroids?
Absolutely not. And this is
Even back in bodybuilding days,
this is
football days.
This is a crazy question. My answer to that question, have you ever used steroids, is the only thing I can say. I can't tell you that I haven't, but you'll never be able to prove that I have. Because each one of you out there has an opinion on how I carry myself. And I can take 1 million tests. I've been tested for drugs since I've been 17 years old. I can take 1 million tests. I can pass every one of them. As soon as I pass it, there's some other guy on the other end going, oh, there's masking agents, there's this, there's that. I know the arguments because I've been in the situation.
There you go. There's the news that we're supposed to trust. And, Anthony explained exactly what he was trying to say there, because then even after he said absolutely not, it was kind of like...
When he says I can't tell you I haven't, he means like I can't tell you anything. You guys are going to make up whatever you want. It wasn't like I can't tell you I haven't because I have. It was obvious what he was saying, but the way they edited it, it made it sound like I can't tell you that I haven't because, well, I don't want to lie, or I have taken it.
And they knew how important it was, the part where it goes absolutely not. That would be just, all right, we got to cut that
blows it out of the water, so cut that.
And then it gets a little gray over here.
Very important part out.
Even though he was kind of referring to something else.
And just the way they said he doesn't like being asked about steroids, like he was giving some disgusted answer, but he actually answered it articulately and honestly.
Yeah.
No, but it's like you guys said, too. This isn't Inside Edition or TMZ TV. This is CNN, the most respected name in journalism.
Blah, 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 blah.
Right. What a bunch of bullshit. I mean, that's fucking bullshit. Now, you hear that, and like you said, this isn't getting half as much play as it should, because once again, it's just lowly wrestling. If this was like a politician or Barack Obama or something like that, there'd be a witch hunt going through. It's, it really is scary when you think about how manipulative that was for just that one little clip. So what else do we hear that's being manipulated for every single subject, from the biggest of the big to the smallest of the small?
Yeah, I wonder that all the time. Absolutely. So how do you answer the steroid question, Chris?
Well, for me, like I said, I realized at a very early part of my career that it wasn't going to make a difference, because I'm never going to be 6'8". I'm never going to be 250 pounds, no matter what kind of drugs I would take or didn't take. I had to think of a different way to try and make it and think outside of the box and work on my personality and make that the biggest part of my character, was the show business aspect of it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, it's a pain in the ass to be naturally cut and big, like myself, and.
We know it, and that's with one of the problems. I'm very jealous. One of the reasons why I was so angry the other day and had so much aggression.
Just looking at all the muscle in this room.
Yeah,
I understand.
I have to stare at this.
You guys look like Greek gods. I walk in there. What the hell am I supposed to do?
I have to downplay it all the time. I wear baggy stuff. I'm, and then I get a little outrageous on the radio show, and they're like, "Yeah, roid rage, obviously." And it's a pain in the ass to be asked that a lot.
And little Jimmy Norton. If you haven't actually seen the guy, it's like when they call a big guy tiny. They call him little because he's 6'8", 380 pounds. He's got a cock like a bear.
If I didn't talk, they'd think I was a statue. Just a marbled statue.
I like how he brought up your cock.
I do too.
It was nice of him.
Please get a sound drop of that. Put that on my CD. It's fantastic.
By the way, I don't know.
I was going to say that Jericho and Norton are talking about each other's cocks. The next time I go to Washington, we'll be arguing about that now. But Norton does not have a big cock. I don't care what you say.
By the way,
go in there and tell Norton how big his cock is.
We need the boys to go to TMZ because I forgot to mention this until right now. So the John Cena thing, it's getting a lot of play on TMZ, I believe. And then they basically said, I think it was on the TV show, so we're going to have to get that. And all of a sudden they're like, watch, we'll show you how easy this is to do. So they go, hey, Larry, as in, Larry King, Larry, have you ever, done steroids? And his answer like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then they go, see how easy that was? It's kind of funny. We got to play that. We'll find that. All right, Chris.
All right, fellas. See, this conversation was a letdown for everyone who thought we were going to be yelling and screaming at each other.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Next time we'll have to find something else. So, Norton, keep your frickin' nose clean, because you're lucky I didn't reach through. You're lucky I didn't pop your head off like a fucking zit the other day. Understand me?
I actually agree with that. No, I can't argue that point. I'm grateful for the same.
He is lucky that didn't happen.
First of all, I don't think it's that. First of all, I don't think it's that boring. It's a real moment. And now that we've kind of smoothed things over, I need to know one thing, Chris. Sure. And you got to be honest. I don't want you to play a role or any of that crap. Okay? You're talking to us, Opie and Anthony. We try to keep it honest here. How close were you to hitting little Jimmy Norton?
On a scale of 1 to 10, probably about a 2. And I'll tell you the reason why.
Jimmy just went because he's been wondering himself.
I don't think I would ever hit somebody because of a debate or a conversation or anything along those lines, because that would be such a stereotypical quote-unquote wrestler thing to do. And to be honest with you, the moment I was the most pissed off the whole time is when the security guard came in the room. I found that to be very very pretentious and very I thought it was like why would I ever hit somebody as a guest on your show to come in there and punch somebody? A, I don't want to get sued. I'm not that stupid. I got too much money to lose.
That's a good A.
And B, how patronizing would it be for it was very patronizing for the security guard to come in, and how bad would that look for me, for other wrestlers, for anybody? I thought that would be the exact opposite thing I would do.
Yeah.
Now, if some guy came in the room with a knife trying to slice me or you or anybody, the guy's going to get his ass whipped. But as a conversation and an argument, there's no way, man. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I didn't at any point feel like that was a vibe. I felt we were pissed off at each other, but I never felt like that was a real. I mean, of course, my thought is there because of my own. I still realize I'm talking to a guy who could throw me out the window, but there was nothing he did to indicate that he was close to that.
Okay. Of course not. And like I said, that would be such a bullshit thing for me to do. That puts me at a completely asshole level, which I never try to get to. Now, verbally, I might have been an asshole, but physically, absolutely not. Right. Now, before I go, I just want to say, I heard you talking about how hard it is to get on the bestseller list. And did your book make it on the bestseller list, Jimmy?
I did, yes, but I have to say, and this is not mock humility, I did it in an easier time. It was over the summer. My book came out in July. But right now, the nonfiction part of the bestseller list, because it's broken down to fiction, nonfiction, there's a lot of books recently come out for nonfiction. So the fact that you made the list, is
it's huge.
It's really impressive.
So my book probably did better than yours then.
It's very possible, yeah. I mean,
you wrote a little book.
No, dude. Believe me, a lot of times the easy reads do better.
All right, guys.
Jimmy had to compete with Harry Potter,
but that's fiction. So, that's fiction.
Oh well,
I believe it
is.
Yeah.
Hey, I had to compete with Stephen Colbert and Ronnie Wood.
Yeah,
my book did better than Ronnie Wood. Not even the guitar player in the Stones, albeit the second guitar player that not a lot of people know. Not even he could combat Chris Jericho, Daddy-O.
Yeah, that is big to do it right now.
All right, and you're going to be on WWE Raw Monday, right?
I will probably be in the stand selling popcorn because it's right down the street from my house.
Survivor Series. Where are we at there, Chris? Come on.
Yeah. When does it all happen?
I'm a magician with many tricks, and I will surprise you when it happens, just like Harry Potter you discussed earlier.
So the book tour hits Toronto?
Hits Toronto and Winnipeg this week, yeah.
All right, we're on XM Canada, so the big plug for the book signing.
Absolutely. I will be in Wednesday.
Oh.
Why do you do that?
I got tricks too.
Oh God! Do you think he's laughing right now, looking at the phone?
Some tricks.
Or is he imagining taking the phone and just punching you in the face?
He's probably doing both. He's probably laughing at the image of just belting him with the phone in his hand.
Right now, he's going a 10.
As soon as he said he had tricks, I had to go there
a
again.
10 right now.
Yeah, I'm very happy that he called in. That's very cool, man.
Yeah, you agree to disagree, but
that's fine, dude.
Agreeing to disagree.
I don't want to have a
never
bad
happens on
relationship
the
with a
show.
guy like that. That really was a bad example to follow it up with, though.
Grant is like
Chris Jericho.
Hey, I just talking to some people at the WWE, and I have a big announcement that I want to make on the Opie and Anthony show.
Ooh, you really think I'm going to fall for this? Are you insane?
Here's the announcement. I will be returning to the WWE on...
Click. Is he insane? Are you insane, Chris Jericho?
I thought
that was him hanging up.
I thought that was bullshit. And then when he said I will be returning, I actually was like, oh, it's a real announcement.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Do you really think we're falling for the
steroids are getting to your head?
He never did steroids.
Oh, all right.
Never done steroids.
Here we go. This is the Larry King thing I was talking about before.
Larry King.
Before the show where the TMZ was all over the John Cena, CNN thing.
Yeah.
Making it look like...